Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the second T20 between South Africa and New Zealand. Now, the South African youngsters, they are currently sitting 1-0 up in this series. New Zealand looking to fire back here, and South Africa, they have won the toss. They have elected to bowl, so doing exactly what we saw in the last matchup. New Zealand, they were bowled out for 91. South Africa, they were able to chase it down very comfortably. We didn't even really get to see the full young, inexperienced side in action either when it came to the bat. So hopefully today they go a little bit deeper than 3 down, and hopefully New Zealand give them a decent total to be able to chase, see exactly what they can do. But looking through at the teams, there are very limited changes for both of these sides heading into the second T20. The only change for New Zealand is Josh Clarkson. He comes in, and Mitchell Santner actually gets promoted up to the number 5 position in terms of the batting order. It is due to that injury that we did see in the outfield. And it's terrible on me. I've forgotten what the bloke's name was who was playing in the number 5 jersey. He was the one who came in after Nick Kelly. And that's going to annoy me. In fact, I can tell you right now, his name was Jacobs. He got 10 off 7 balls. And then unfortunately did end up going out with the run out. And then also ended up with that injury in the field as well. Just the one change for the Proteas in terms of their lineup. We do see Mulder come into the starting 2. And that is with the injury of Jordan Herman, who unfortunately did also suffer an injury in the field. That was hamstring. And the dates for those two confirming in terms of when they'll come back, I'm not actually too sure of that information. As of yet, we have got, hi Hamish, no dad today. No dad today at the stage. He may pop in a little bit later on. We were doing quite a bit of jib board today at work. And unfortunately, both of our eyeballs consumed far more jib dust than they would have liked to. He got the worst of it. Yeah, the eyes are pretty sore at the moment, but he might be in later on. He is still going to be potentially watching, but for now, you've just got to put up with me. And hopefully, we get to see a decent total. I know that was our first live stream together for a while, and it was one of the worst defeats we have seen from the Black Caps in quite some time. 8 a.m. here in South Africa. Good day, Hamish says JP. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Of course, nice early morning start for you guys in South Africa on the Tuesday. I can't think of the last midweek game that we've covered on the channel that was on a Tuesday. I know we've had the Sevens on the Monday and sometimes some URC or Champions Cup and Super Rugby on the Friday, but midweek on the channel, this is almost unheard of in terms of channel history. We've got hello from Hannah, welcome in. Early morning start for yourself in South Africa too, and Kyle Julius is here. Morning image, says Kyle. But both sides, they have already done the national anthem. South Africa are ready to take to the field. They were sharp in the last contest that took place at Bay Oval. They took their catches. They also had a brilliant run out. That was Herman who was able to get it. The man who is at number 4 in the batting order today. Morning, Hamish, missed the start of the cricket. What do I need to know? So if you're talking about the last matchup, New Zealand got themselves bowled out for 91. South Africa chased it down. Just one change for both of these sides. We do see Josh Clarkson coming in for the injury of the New Zealand number 5 in Jacobs, and then also Mulder comes in at the top of the order. That is due to the injury of Jordan Herman. So those are the only real changes that we see for these two sides. South Africa won the toss. They elected to bowl, and they're just about to get underway. I think the Black Cats will bounce back today, says Salah. I'd like to think that they will, and I'd like to think they'll do a lot more than they did in their last outing. 91 getting bowled out up against an inexperienced but very capable bowling attack of the South Africans. I feel like it was almost talked about too much, the fact that New Zealand struggled with the bat, more so than the fact that South Africa actually bowled very well. Coetzee was getting some lovely swing. We saw a hard length hit from Makona, who is, of course, in there again for the bowling attack, but very close to these two sides making their way out. Well, Latham and also Devon Conway, two men with a lot of experience for New Zealand. They weren't able to fire at the top of the order, although to be fair, hardly anyone did in terms of the batting. When is the next T20? It is going to be on Friday night. Now, sadly, that does overlap with Super Rugby, so we'll be doing a little bit of a chop and change in terms of the Super Rugby commentary, but letting you know what's happening in the cricket along the way. As it's like the B team for both countries. Love to see South African youngsters getting a chance, says JP. Yeah, so very much experimental sides. Now, New Zealand have still got a few of their more experienced heads, such as a Latham, a Conway, and also Mitchell Santner's in there, Neesham too. But it's still quite a different team compared to what we're used to seeing. I do see that Lockie Ferguson is listed as 12th man in this contest. But like they say in New Zealand, they'll be looking for improvements at the top of the order for Latham and Conway. Last match for Latham, he was only able to get together the 7 off 6. For Conway, he was able to get 1 off 5. So it doesn't take much for both of those men to be able to get more than their previous totals in the series. This game taking place in Hamilton rather than Bay Oval. Different conditions, but I'd assume that we'll still see quite a bit of swing from Hiral Kutsia. Top of the order. Able to take 2 wickets last matchup. Let's go the Black Cat, says Viral Shorts. And also, yeah, we got their morning from Kyle there too. Kutsia. Can he strike early like he did in the last contest? New Zealand were 5 down at the end of their power play. So I'd like to think they will do better than that. And if they don't, they're in a little bit of trouble, the old Black Cats. But what we will quickly do is we will get ready to go for this one. We're going to do what we normally do, which is watch the first ball on TV NZ and then transfer over to TAB, just because it does end up being a little bit further ahead on the TAB. But Gerald Kutsia ready to bowl the first ball. It is pitched up and is whipped to lead by Conway. That is going to go to the boundary. That is a much better start for Devon Conway than we did see in the last contest. We're going to switch over now to the TAB. There's also the single off the second ball for Devon Conway. Latham now on strike. It's a little bit of an awkward one, but the TAB normally don't kick in until like 1 or so balls in. But now Kutsia running in. Outside off stump. That was close to the outside edge there of Latham. That's mean 3 balls in, 4-1 dot. Old Fart's playing again. I can't deal with this crap, says Jordan. Well, I hope you're not going to complain for the full 3.5 hours like you did last time. And, you know, hopefully you find some positives from the series. Latham on strike. Kutsia. Seems like there's a little bit of movement. That first ball to Conway was very much so pitched up just short of the Yorker length. Latham now down the leg side. That'll be a wide. Good morning, Hamish, raining here in Cape Town, says Ruth. No one is forcing you to be here, mate, says JP. Did see a few wides in the last one. Chris Brown is the umpire. There's actually a lot of Chris Browns around. There's also a vet who's named Chris Brown. There's also, of course, the singer. Sean Haig. I don't know how many Sean Haigs there are around, but he is in his 57th T20 International. Let's hope New Zealand come back in this one, says Ruth. For the sake of the series, it would be great to see it become 1-1, but at the same time, if they do well, here South Africa, they would thoroughly deserve that second victory. Work down to deep third man. 1 run taken by Latham. No, but I'm not expecting much from them. However, we do have a very good record in Hamilton, mainly in ODI and Test, says Jordan. Well, there's one slight positive, I guess. Our Ruth is an imposter. Why is Ruth? Oh, because she's going for New Zealand, right? I tried to make good game. I learnt from the last, says Ruth. Yeah, I'm hoping we see a very different match. And if that still meant that South Africa won, then so be it. But I'd just like to see both sides get to bat 20 overs, or at least close to it. You know, New Zealand being bowled out in about 14 just left a lot to be desired. Short ball from Kutsia as he goes round the wicket. So actually changing the angle here to Devon Conway. And hi, Sir Hamish. I don't know where the Sirs come from, but a lot of people call me Sir now. We have, what is your opinion on Tana possibly becoming an assistant coach for the ABs? Did you have a good day? When do you think we will find out who the assistants are, says Kiwi Rob? So, I mean, I've said about it a little bit over the weekend with Tana Umaga. If that's who really wants with him, like, I guess we're not really ones to judge, are we? Like, if that's the team that he wants to assemble, or that one was an inside edge from Devon Conway, it's going to go down to deep fine leg. And single taken off the last ball of the over, making it now 8 for none. Much better start for the Black Cats in this contest. But yeah, like if that's the guy that Rennie wants in there, I think that, you know, you want to have confidence in your assistants, which is something that we didn't seem to see with Scott Robertson in certain regards. But hopefully within the next couple of weeks, they do announce it. Tana's a culture coach. I feel New Zealand Rugby might be forcing Rennie to have him. I don't think so. I think that Rennie definitely does have a lot of respect for Tana Umaga. Like, anytime you hear him talk about him, he can't say enough good things. So, like, I would say he's seen what he's done with Moana Pacifica, And that might be a little bit of a hint towards who Rennie's thinking about having as his coach. And we've also got to remember, the last coach, Scott Robertson, he was half by sacked because the players didn't like him. So if you've got a guy who is very much in the team environment and tana umanga, getting behind the boys and trying to get that team culture back, then like that might just be the case of trying to save himself from getting the sack as well. Even though he hasn't even had a game and people are already trying to sack him. Zach Folks is usually good in Hamilton sometimes, says Jordan, but Conway on strike. McConnor coming into bowl. Was able to take a couple wickets in the last match. In fact, I believe he got 3 nice drive from Conway. Will beat the fielder at mid-off and it races to the boundary for 4. IPL starting on the 29th of this month. Ooh, that's only 12 days away. He's done nothing with Moana, says Jordan. Well, he's done some things with Moana, to be fair. Like, you've also got to look at who Moana have available in their team. Jacques Neighbour would be good because he would have inside knowledge, says Jordan. He'd have inside knowledge against, I guess, the South Africans and the Irish, but against the other sides, I don't think he'd be too keen to give away too much. That one's almost hit the stumps again for Conway off the inside edge. Playing dangerously at the moment, looking at the edges of his ton bat. Oh, even though the bat's brand is ton, he has never had one. In a T20 International, he sits 10 runs off 6 at the moment. Scoreboard doesn't say it as of yet. There we go, it's starting to get there now. Is this match at Eden Park? It isn't. I believe the third match is at, or third or fourth is at Eden Park. A lot of edging going on here, says JP. Yeah, he's getting a lot of the inside edge, Conway, and then Latham got a bit of the outside edge before. Pitched up, again, driven by Conway. Doesn't quite time it. Hit the mid-off for a dot ball. He'd have to if what he's paid for. Otherwise, he would. There would be a court case. Yeah, but how are you gonna You're gonna argue in court that a guy hasn't told you all his inside knowledge that he hasn't admitted he has? I feel like that's just a court case they'd lose. I know you have only so much time. You thought about doing the IPL Kiwi squad players on this channel. Unfortunately, IPL is just one of those ones that are brutal in terms of time zone. So I've considered it in the past. We actually have done a couple games of the IPL, I believe, like ages ago. But outside of that, I haven't really had much of a chance. All hit to the leg side, Conway. Not quite timing it, but he has almost got enough. Fielded in the deep by South Africa. Keeping it to just the 2 runs. Okay, Conway's looked, I would say, shaky at the start of this one. Who's winning between the Blues and the Tars this weekend? Well, the Tars didn't do too much up against the Canes, did they? But then, I don't know. I think it will be closer than that Hurricanes-Tars game. But then I do still think that the Blues should get the job done. Such a professional, Hamish, says JP. Conway now once again on strike. 6 runs so far off the overdrive. That one was timed, but unfortunately, timed straight to the man at extra cover. In fact, no, he would have been cover point, in fact. A happy St. Patrick's Day? Is it St. Patrick's Day? I didn't even realise. I'm gonna have to quickly check. 1 second, we'll go like this. And like this. Oh, that was an interesting looking shot from Conway. 6:23. Oh yeah, because of course you guys are about 13 hours behind us, aren't you? How many hours of sleep do you get on the weekends? It must be very little. It is very little. It definitely isn't a lot. I think over the last whole weekend it was maybe like 5 hours, something like that. I'm Irish. I know St. Patrick himself, says Chris, but that is the end of the second over. 15 for none now for New Zealand. Much better start. Conway still out there, 12 off 10. Latham's just faced the 2 deliveries. And he is on the 1 run. Did you have a good day at work? It was all right. We got quite a bit of jib done, but the reason Dad isn't with me and why I am solo is because we got a lot of jib dust in the eyeballs. So the eyes are a bit tender at the moment. Kutsia comes in to bowl his second over. Pitched up outside off stump. Big swinging shot from Latham. From Conway. Can't connect. It is the dot. And where is Tars versus Blues? It is over there. Allianz Stadium. Isn't it St. Patrick's Day today? Irish Day, 17th of March. And Chris, lots of luck. Says Ruth. And in there as well. Just about to head to work here, says Chris. You see, that's the thing. Normally with these like midweek streams, we're just not used to it because, on the weekends, most people, that's a ramp shot attempted. That's one of the lightest ramp shots I think I've ever seen. It hardly made it to the keeper. Conway is trying things. He wants a new bat. He said this one's not working. Do you mainly work on new builds or renos? It's a bit of both. At the moment, it's just one big renovation, which has taken up quite a bit of time. Thank you very much, Ruth, says Chris. I'm thinking we are going to get done. What do you think? Thinking we're going to get done. As in, like, the South Africans are going to get done? Oh, pitched up outside off stump. Nice drive from Conway. That one pierces the field. It was almost a little bit over pitched from Kutsia. Conway gets it to the boundary. He's still looking at the bat. He does not like it very much at the previous game end. Quickly. But no, South Africa were able to get themselves the win in the end. What's your full-time job, if I may ask, says JP? It is a builder/labourer, depending on what's happening. That one's going to be beautifully glided through backward point almost from Conway, who's still not happy with his bat, although that one did come out of what was much closer to the middle than some of his past shots. No New Zealand, says Kevin. So I think New Zealand will be more competitive here. Shot from Conway to the leg side. Again, hasn't managed to time it. Fielded in the deep with a bit of a misfield, so they will sneak through for the second. How many T20 guys in the final are playing here? None. For South Africa, their semi-final team, I believe only Maharaj. For New Zealand's final side, Satna, Nisham, McConkey didn't play in that final, did he? I don't think Jameson did either, so I think it might be 2 or 3 for New Zealand of the guys who were in that final. Jacques Moller, Yannick Bru, Ronan O'Gara, Michael Chick and Warren Gatlin. Glasgow coach are just some. There would be far better options than Tana. But then if Rennie wants Tana, then who are we to choose who he gets to have? Yes, there might be guys who people feel are more qualified for the job or might be better suited, but if Rennie's got a game plan and he feels like Tana Umaga can bring that, why isn't he allowed to pick his own assistant coach? Short ball outside off stump. Conway tries to slash at it. Fun fact, Latham still has only faced 2 balls. That's the end of the over, or no, 1 more ball, sorry. I want to be against Tana being consulted in terms of mental side and make sure the Pacifica boys behave. Says Jordan, and come on some boundaries, please. I know high balls and Six Nations is bonkers. I don't get it's all over. Yeah, I'm sad that it is finished because it was an absolutely incredible tournament. Now, Kutsia advancing down the wicket. Conway not connecting again. And that'll be the end of the Kutsia over. It goes for 6. New Zealand are 21 for none. Hey, how your week been going? It's been going fast. I can't believe we're already on Tuesday. But I guess with the amount of 7s that we covered throughout the last couple of days and also just the rugby weekend, it does make a bit of sense. Yeah, but we did that with Razor and Razor picked his friends. How that work out, says Jordan. Yeah, although there was always that situation with Razor, how, even he didn't seem too confident in the grouping. Once again, if you're going to try and pick a assistant coach for a coach for them, that never ends well. You've got to let the coach have some say, or else you're just chucking together a group and hoping that it works. How does this game even work? Is South Africa doing good or not? Says Shell. So pretty much at the moment, I'd say South Africa are going okay. This is decent so far, restricting New Zealand to only 7 runs per over, but New Zealand haven't lost any wickets. So that's one thing that they've got up their sleeve here. At this stage of the last T20 between the two teams, New Zealand had already lost, I believe, about 2 wickets, maybe even 3. The people most qualified for the job should be picked, even if they don't work together well, Jordan. You'd rather have the experience there with a little bit of a lack of chemistry than having maybe someone who would be better suited for the type or at the end of the day, it's Rennie's choice, isn't it? And you can complain all you want, but he might pick him, he might not. And at the end of the day, that's his choice. I see, thank you, says Shao. Ram shot there from Latham. That's gone extremely high. And it will make it all the way for 6. Signaled by Kutsia. And that is the first maximum of the day. Latham, that is only his 4th delivery. And he's got himself the 6 runs off it now. Did Crusaders beat the Moana team last year? Says Baden. I think Moana got them last year. When did Rennie work with Tani ever? Do you know their private conversations off by heart, Jordan? Because, fun fact, coaches do sometimes talk to each other behind the scenes. Like, they are allowed to be friends. They are allowed to have conversations without the public being able to read every single one of their messages. They're just showing that replay there of Latham. And Hamish, can you remember Lance Kens? What player's great? I just got my tickets to Eden Park. Are working as in coaching together. Well, the thing is, at the very start of coaching, no one had coached together, had they? So, like, why does it matter if they've coached together before? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you've worked with a bloke before, sometimes the coaches work with a country before. They go in and doing well. You know, someone like a Warren Gatlin. Look what he did for Wales. He went back there afterwards. Completely different scenario. There should be a reality show where people audition to be All Blacks coaches and assistant coaches. The public vote on who they want, says the Sporting Kiwi. I feel like there should be a show of how many All Black supporters are already bad-mouthing the coach before even seeing him in action. And I feel like it could be a whole, 10-part series. And for the T20 on Friday. And also, what time is the game? Says Baden, it will be 7:15 p.m. New Zealand time again. Currently, Bartman, other than that 6 he has gone dot for the first ball and dot for the third ball. Oh, trying the drive there, Latham. I reckon New Zealand will make 160. There's a decent chance they get somewhere up towards that. Definitely if they can keep some wickets in hand. The longer these two are... There's been a lot of false shots, though. South Africa once again attacking that solid line. What do you reckon game of the weekend for Super Rugby? I would say Highlanders Hurricanes. There's a reason, because we have no confidence Tane has ever showed anything special as a coach, says Jordan. Well, we'll see if he does all right for Rennie. But once again, you could complain about it all you want, but until it actually happens, I feel like it's just wasted energy, isn't it? Surely there's something better to do than just be sad about everything that's happening in the world of sport, right? I reckon Rennie will be a decent coach, says K Slade. Now, run rate at the moment. That one's going to be driven there by Latham. Gets it through the man at point. And that is going to be 4 runs to close out the Bartman over. It goes for 10. New Zealand 4 overs in, 31 for none. And I was going to go to this game, but gave my tickets away to a family for free. That was very generous of you, Sporting Kiwi. Was that, I assume, because you ended up busy and not because of the previous result, right? I hope it's not because of the previous result. So if I see the scoreboard correctly, New Zealand has 27 runs and South Africa has 0 wickets. That is correct, yes. So New Zealand doing nicely here. Run rate at the moment, 7.75. The way that it currently sits, Makona comes back into the bowling attack. Conway sitting 18 runs off 16 balls. Latham is 11 off 8. Latham seems like he's starting to time it that little bit better. Conway still... he's hit 3 boundaries. I'd say the first 2 have looked convincing. We'll see whether or not he can start to strike it a little bit closer. Yeah, busy. I would love to go if I could have, says the Sporting Kiwi. And as New Zealand doing good in the cricket, I don't understand anything about it. They're doing not too bad at the moment. They haven't lost any wickets at this point in time, which is much better than they did the last time around. What would you think, the previous old All Blacks versus the new All Blacks? That would be a funny game. They kind of have done something similar to that. It's normally they play the older Northland Taniwha players, though. I'm against the retired All Blacks guys. And whereas Ravindra, he is missing him. And there were a couple others who weren't available. That's a one-handed shot from Conway. Just pretty much hoiked to the leg side, but they will get through again for 2. Oh, the Egyptian, says Turkiyov. Yep, can confirm, still not from Egypt. Mummy, says Ruth. I love New Zealand, but some Kiwi fans seem to be extremely negative about their team. I've seen it in rugby and the cricket, says JP. Yeah, we've had the blessing and the curse of seeing a lot of great fans for different countries, but we've also seen the negative ones as well that do give sides a worse name. Oh, Conway not quite timing that one either. He does just hit it straight back to McConnor. 190. Oh, 190 plus would be a pretty handy total here for the Kiwis. I mean, 90 plus would be a great start, seeing as they only got the 91 before getting bowled out in the last contest. But yeah, I think anything over 150 could be competitive here. We really don't know a lot about the South African batting lineup, which is the slightly, I guess, exciting part of it, but also the nervous part for the Black Caps. Short ball, Conway pulls it away. He's timed it well, but there is the man in the deep, well fielded. Again, they will get through for the 2. Not me, I'm Cape Town all the way, but support New Zealand, says Ruth. The only thing New Zealand, or working in New Zealand now, is the women's sevens as usual. Yeah, they've been pretty phenomenal in terms of recent time, whereas it's televised. It is on TV NZ Plus here in New Zealand, and also on the TAB is your other option of being able to watch it. Now, McConnor again ready to bowl. Conway is that Irish, says Ruth. And if Tim Seifert was not out in the World Cup final, he could have played like Glenn Maxwell, scoring 200 runs. And we treated like Mbappe in New Zealand, says Turkiov. Yeah, I mean, if Finn Allen hadn't been dropped on none and then going out only just a little bit later on, it's going to be another single taken by New Zealand. But yeah, they just didn't fire. In terms of the batting lineup, Cape Town is not a country, Ruth, says JP. And Conway is their Irish. I'm not too sure what his original heritage is. Oh, he just said Qatar. In fact, Conway's South African, I think, isn't he? Maybe. I think he's got that South African accent. Quite a few of our great cricketers have been from South Africa. Now McConnor to close out the over. He's gone for 5 so far. Latham tries to swing across the line. Swing and a miss. The end of the 5th over. 36 for none. He's South African, that's probably Irish, says Jordan. Currently, New Zealand's run rate is 7.2. Required run rate for South Africa the last time these two sides played was only sitting around 4 or so. And Cape Town is the Europe of Africa. Says Clint D, I'm a bowler medium pace, not great with the bat. I'm a lower to mid-order. How about you, Hamish? You look like a swing bowler, opening batsman. Well, I don't get to bowl very often. There was a patch where I was bowling medium pace, but now I'm bowling a little bit more spin just because we don't have many spinners in the team. So in the nets, it's better if I'm bowling spin just because it's something that we'll face on the weekends. That's a weird shot from Conway. He's ended up getting all sorts of tucked up. He's also looking down at the turf as if his foot got stuck in it. But at the end of the day, it is a dot ball from Bartman. What a strange looking shot. He almost played it and then decided to fall forward and do a little bit of a weird on all fours situation. But I am normally like up the top of the order. Although I haven't been batting that well recently. Also haven't batted much. Another big drive attempted by Conway. Another swing and a miss. 23 off 23 at the moment. And how a slow bowler is employed, I don't get it. It's because they spin the ball. And a little bit of spin on a ball can do a lot. And we have there, good morning, Hamish in the chat says, hey, no, welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. Currently New Zealand, they aren't sitting too badly just at this stage. 36 for none. Hamish should have played off spinner. I can bowl off spin as well. I bowl predominantly leg spin. Oh, that one's gone to the leg side. Conway hit it in the air. It is going to fall safely. That didn't seem like much of an effort there in the deep. In fact, I think he could have got a lot closer to that one had he run a bit harder. But last match that we did play that I bowled off spin and took a couple wickets. This ball hung in the air for quite some time. I'd like to think that he felt like he couldn't get there. Nathan Astor was a great slower bowler or medium pacer. Colin de Gronholm, another player for New Zealand that's actually done pretty well with a lack of pace. And some would even argue that Tim Southey could be considered as a slightly slower bowler. Nice pull shot there from Conway. Hits it out to the mid-wicket boundary, and that will be a crisp connection for 4. Although Southey, of course, did get slower as he kind of went on in his career, but still got that swing. If you played off spin, you would have given us World Cup trophy. I don't think I would have. I think I would have choked in that final. And nice one, says Viral Shorts. And g'day, Hamish and everyone, says Studs Rays. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Conway Hitting another boundary here. I believe that's his 4th of the match. Bowling off spin is a massive skill to have, says Haino. Yeah, see, that the trickiest part of bowling off spin is when I finally decide I want to bowl a leg spinner and you don't accidentally bowl a double bouncer or like a full toss. That's the tricky part. But the good news is, in the grade we play in, like, you slightly have confidence that someone might be able to take a catch on the boundary. I'm really worried about the batting lineup. Hope you pass 160 to see how we do. 190 might be too much for the youngsters, says Clint D. Oh, that's in the air again, but it is hit out towards backward point. New Zealand just taking the single this time. But yeah, I'd love to see more of the South African batting attack, because we saw some nice moments at the top of the order. You know, Esterhuizen, he worked for a pretty decent batting innings in that first T20. Like, he didn't have to rush, but I'd love to see them chasing a total a little bit higher to see who's got that power, who can control an innings. I'm a seamer in my old days, and now a leg spinner that turns it away. If I can't turn it inwards to a right-hander, says says Haino. Yeah, see, my biggest problem, I want to know how to bowl a wrong-in as a leggy. But my wrong-in as a leggy is to just bowl it finger spin. So, like, and I also bowl leg spin kind of like finger spin as well. I have like 3 cricket balls on my desk. I'll show you while we're at it. It's cricket related, so we can do it without getting yelled at for not talking about rugby. But cricket ball here, nice shiny cherry. So off spin, I'm going to need more room. But speaking of off spin, Maharaj coming into the attack. Normally off spin, I'll just bowl it like that. Leg spin, rather than the flick of the wrist spin, I actually end up bowling it round and spin it like that with my fingers rather than the wrist. So it's a little bit of a weird one to look at, but it's effective. I can't tell if Jordan hates New Zealand or South Africa more. Seems mad at life if you ask me. Yeah, not a lot seems to impress him, unfortunately. Now hit to the leg side in the air, and it will perfectly pierce the gap between the two South Africans in the deep. Now, of course, the power play is over. New Zealand able to get themselves 43 runs off it. And hi, Hamish, says Brandon. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Southie was a good stock bowler. Great death bowler and unplayable in the right conditions. So much control. Yeah, he's one of those guys that I feel like a lot of people gave him a bit of stick near the end of his career, but the amount that he did for New Zealand cricket, it's the same with Trent Boult as well. The way that those two were able to just work in a partnership and always seem threatening was always fantastic to watch. Whereas your dad, he is watching this game in a different room. We were playing with Jib board today and both got an eye full of it, but he got the worst of it. So the top eyes are a bit sore. He said that he didn't want to be scratching at them throughout the stream. It was that guy. I send you a video of England versus New Zealand. Oh, it's in the air, reverse sweep. Latham hits it straight down the throat of the fielder, and that is the first wicket in this contest. Latham on his way. South Africa strike now. It was a bit of a nothing shot there from Latham. The amount of times a player will go out playing a shot like a reverse sweep or a ramp is actually quite often. And Maharaj, he'll just be happy. He put it straight. And Latham said, okay, hit it straight to the guy. And that is the wicket. 10 balls faced, 11 runs off him, or for him, sorry, and 41 or 48 for one. We have got their New Zealand pitches are mostly based on bowling, says Turkiov. Yeah, although normally spin doesn't get a huge amount of reward in New Zealand conditions, unfortunately, particularly in test matches. Normally you'd only see one spinner in there. Right, we do see Robertson now making his way to the middle. Second will go like this. And like that. There we go. Why are you doing 4 tests, not 3? 4 tests, not 3. Test. Are we T20, not 3? Is that what we're working with rather than the test match? Any thoughts on Latham playing? Could have picked a younger T20 specialist. They definitely could have. I assume that they wanted him for the glove work, But at the same time, I assume they could have looked at someone else for the gloves too. I just realized that my scoreboard is actually a little bit low. There we go. That'll be a bit better. And like that. There we go. Now you guys can see exactly who is in and who is out. I played one season of cricket in primary school. Our girls team came first and the boys team got third or fourth. I have no idea what I was doing. Says K Slade. Oh, advancing down the wicket there. Conway looking to be aggressive to Maharaj. Although the last thing New Zealand want is to have both openers gone in quick succession like they had last time. And we have there read my other messages about South Africa tours. Oh, how do you think South Africa tour will go? Oh, that's a nice shot to the leg side, and that is 6 runs for Conway. He has turned what has been a bit of a makeshift and a bit of a interesting innings into 41 runs off 31 balls at this point in time. Maharaj's over comes to an end. That is 1 wicket, 12 runs off it. And New Zealand are 7 overs in, 55 for 1. Tim Robinson does horse riding in his Instagram. Does he? Like as in like the hurdling or just the horse riding in general? Black Cap's doing well, says Clint D. Yeah, it's a good start. Run rate at the moment, 7.86. I don't know if they're going to get that ball back. It actually went straight through a fence into some bushes. And everybody gets got lots of cleaning to do. Still for messy guests, besides I don't do cricket. I'll wait for the rugby, says Bruce. And Conway boundary loosening up those wrists. Latham has never been a good T20, too slow. That's what I said, Hamish. That was what you said. It was one of your many negative things that you've said about this Black Cap side in recent times. 86 metre 6 there for Conway. And again, he hasn't found the middle too often, but that one was a very nice strike of the ball. Just clearing the rope all the way. Cop could have caught that 6. I was probably busy giving a ticket. Says Studs Race. And horsing it and hoofing it down the ground. And go the Kiwi, says Sham. 6 fours, 2 6s at the moment. We are going to get to see Linda come into the attack. That number 6 role when it comes to the batting. Go the Kiwis, says Sham. His best is 4 for 21 in his T20 International career. I was reading my messages above the Latham comment. They were rugby related, weren't they? All about the Pacific Island players. Now Tim Robinson ready to face his second delivery. It's going to be a little bit more spin from South Africa. Something that we did see New Zealand use a bit of was back-to-back spinners of McConkey alongside Satner. And slowly getting over Scotland's loss, says Bruce. Oh, back foot. Not able to hit that one. And good news is Lockie Ferguson playing today. Says Turkiov. Yeah, oh, is he 12th man or is he actually in the lineup? I thought I saw him as 12th, but yeah, he is inside of the Black Caps camp now. And if he can avoid injuries once again, that is the main thing for Ferguson. Linda. Oh, chopped on from Robinson. He's gone. 1 off 3 balls. There have been quite a few inside edges so far throughout this match, but Robinson is on his way. And I think Linda will well and truly take that wicket. It wasn't the smoothest thing. And it also was a little bit ugly. But just chopping it straight on. Trying to give himself room there for the shot, Robinson. And we have good there. I reckon they should combine the Drua Pacifica team. Robinson is a farmer. He wouldn't survive in South Africa, says Jordan. And also we have good there. South Africa won the toss. They certainly did. And they elected to have a bowl similar to what we saw in the last Test match, the last T20 in terms of them batting second. Although on that one, of course, New Zealand were the team that did elect to bat first. We are going to see now Kelly make his way up to the middle. Conway is still in as the set batsman on 41 runs off 31 deliveries. 2 quick fire wickets. Spin might be the way forward. And this one, ideally want to play cricket as light or as lighty. Otherwise embarrassingly bad. Yeah, but I feel like depending on the league you're playing, like if you can find yourself a good twilight competition, like of course if you're much younger, then that's possibly not a good option there. But I feel like there is some sort of cricket league for everyone. even if it's just like an indoor, go down on a Wednesday night and have a little bit of a bat and a bowl. How many batters are there, says K-Slade? So New Zealand don't want to lose 10 wickets. They've got 11 batters total. Are you doing well chopping a ball that wide onto your wicket, says Studs Race? Yeah, it's almost impressive how much he had to create that chop-on opportunity. He was jumping weight a leg, trying to play it out through a cut shot when it probably should have just been punched towards cover. Now Linda worked to the leg side, and Kelly gets his single to get him off the mark. He is a left-hander, the same as Conway. Hamish, are you going to bring your sister or mum for the next live? My sister would be much trickier because she's in a different country to myself. And before you ask, no, it is not Egypt. And then maybe my mum will come on at some stage. Oh, we have got there another 30-plus-year-old, says Jordan. Conway, hitting 41 off 31 currently. Outside off stump. He's almost done the same thing that Robinson did in terms of jumping weight a leg, trying to play a cut shot for the single. It's a pretty risky shot, it seems, on this wicket. But they're going to continue to try and play it. I think if Lindia was smart here, he would continue to try and bowl it there. And out of the first 2 week control, I was just going to say the first week of the Telford, New Zealand. The first 2 week control. Jake is playing, or did his injury stop him? He is out. He is the one player that they switched, and that is for Josh Clarkson. Oh, work down the leg side. That was a little bit of hesitation when it came to the run. They do get through for the single again. Kelly moves up to 2 off 2. Nick Kelly is buns, says Turkiov. Seemed like a decent enough crowd. Well, this one taking place in Hamilton. Still one taking place later on at Eden Park. And also one right at the end, the 5th one taking place in Christchurch. Your mum called Southland to win the Shield off Waikato last year. I definitely need her gambling advice, says Studs Race. Yeah, I think she really enjoyed that stream as well. Reverse sweep attempted there. It's going to be tight. It's a risky shot to play, definitely when they've got a man at third. Will end out the over. A strong one from Linda, only going for the 3 runs and taking the wicket. And the first 2 wickets. And Aussie, we have got there, slam it towards the boundaries, keeping low, says Ruth. Currently New Zealand, they are 8 overs in, 2 down. Much better than they were last time round. As I think by 8 overs, they were already about 6 or 7 down. And the last one you did, Hamish, while he's watching the cricket in another room. Is he listening to your commentary? He is probably not. No, he'll probably be listening to the commentary on the TV. And bad batter and bowler lost the Sags their last Super Smash match, says Jordan. How many had he won them, or how many had he won for them before that stage, though? Because he actually had some really good moments of the Super Smash, didn't he? Now that's hit down the ground from Conway. Fielded in the deep. And it's just another single. Maharaj. He did go for 12 runs, but he took the wicket, which I feel like kind of evens it out. Hamish, did your sister get Australian passport? I think she's still got a New Zealand passport. But she is in Australia. And they claim Clarkson can hit big, but I never seen it for the Black Caps, says Jordan. I got their Ruben in there too. I'm not too sure what that says, unfortunately. It is in Afrikaans. He's actually had a few decent matchups for the Black Caps, says Jordan. Maharaj bowling to Kelly. Pulls it away. And little bit of a misfield in the deep. It's slippery out there at the moment. Makona, let's bring it back in. 2 runs taken for Kelly. Boundary so far, we have seen 8 hit by the Black Caps. 6 fours, 2 sixes. Maharaj, he's gone for 3 of his first 2 balls. Again, just waiting for it, rocking onto the back foot, fielded in the deep for the single. New Zealand seem to be struggling to find those gaps in the deep currently. They're not there willing to take that big risk. Going for the shot over the top. .41. It's the current rate outside off stump, cut away by Conway. Deep point fields it. Another single. Ruben is on roids. Doesn't realise it's pointless typing that here because Hamish I don't see it as slop. I just know that normally what happens is someone either translates it for me or I just translate it myself. As normally the way that it works out. But we've got enough people who speak Afrikaans that normally we work out what it actually says, which is quite nice. Quite a global type of audience. So I am typing it in at the moment. And the verdict is answer to the call from Ruben. There's the translation. There you go. Currently New Zealand, they are back into that rebuilding stage, I would say, just to try and avoid any more wickets falling. It's also the boundary for Conway, I should mention, then the dot ball. Oh, sorry. Must have been boundary for Kelly. My apologies. And we have there, I've got a British UK passport and South African dual citizenship. Says Ruth. Maharaj, again, a little bit expensive off of that over, going for the 9 runs. Temp is about 22. Says Ruth. Nice, so relatively warm in that regard. I think that's about what we may have got to today, or at least what we're supposed to get to at some stage. I think Hamilton was also around that early 20s. 9 overs down, 68 for 2. Back into Linda bowling again. Hit to the leg side from Conway. Swatted. Can't quite get it through to the boundary. I think the scoreboard's taken a little bit of a break. It is still updating, but it isn't quite onto the amount that New Zealand are actually on. Hopefully it does update in the near future. Not cold, just damp, says Ruth. Conway, he has moved up to 46, and once again, it hasn't been the prettiest innings. He had quite a tricky start, but he's fought hard for his runs. Kelly almost chopping it on. I need a little bit of turn and bounce. Cape Town has a record high temps. The other day, 46 in some places. That is brutal. In summer, it was actually way colder than normal here. We had a few decent days between 13 and 15. Says Jordan. Oh, that's just a cross the line slog there, but it's effective from Kelly. Hits it to the boundary. I don't think Lindia would have been expecting that shot. That was quite a interesting. He rocked back outside off stump and then just swept it from pretty much the offside wide line to then hit it all the way to the boundary. Was it cold in Waimea, Hamish? It's normally cold, so it wasn't actually that bad, I don't think. Like, we had more rain than anything, I think, was the big problem. Side off stump, nicely punched off the back foot. Through to the man at deep point 4. Again, the single. Linda can get through these 2 balls without going for a massive amount of runs. They'd probably still consider this quite a handy over. I'm looking forward to the Glasgow Leinster game this weekend. Who's favourites, says Kahu. I'm not actually too sure who comes in as favourites for that one. I'll have a quick look and see if they've done the odds for it. Should be a good match, though. Pretty much a top-of-the-table clash. Oh, wide outside off stump. A little bit too wide. Conway decided he would chase it and kind of fell off the pitch in doing so. Hottest I've experienced in my life is 63 when I used to live in Qatar. That was otherworldly. Yeah, see, I think the hottest I've experienced was in Melbourne. And it was about 40, I want to say 44 or something like that, but it was a hot wind as well. So it's just a bit brutal. That's gone straight through Conway, but it's somehow bounced over the stumps. Could have been on his way. I think a little bit of an exchange there between bowler and batter. That is quite the interesting shot choice from Conway. Okay, Glasgow come in as slight favourites. Now Linda. Finish off the over. Reverse sweep attempted by Conway. He's actually hit it into the keeper. But it does still sneak through for the one. Unlucky one, Conway. That will be the end of the over. Linda not doing too bad. We'll go like this. We'll go like that. How did that miss? I think it was just, the bounce. The little bit of pop off the surface. And you could almost say because of the height of Linda as well. In fact, that wasn't the end of the over. My apologies. And that is now the end of the over after Kelly hits it to the boundary for 4. New Zealand 10 overs in, 81 for 2. Saving towards any side, keeping it low. No catches in, and lucky one Conway, says Ruth. He's had a fair share of luck. That's brutal, 63 degrees. That boils chicken and eggs, says Ruth. Run rate at the moment, 8.1 for the Kiwis. They're actually only 10 runs away from having the amount of runs that they had when they bowled out, or were bowled out last week, which is quite incredible. I think we're going to go like this and like that as well. I'm just looking, because originally I thought there was going to be an overlap in the... there actually isn't. That's quite ideal. I thought there was an overlap between Glasgow, Leinster and Stormers Dragons, but Stormers Dragons is actually on Monday. Do you get stuck under the inversion layer in winter sometimes, like Christchurch does, where it stays below 6 all day for multiple days? It's normally a bit chilly in winter. Like, we'll have some cold days. I'm not sure whether or not it stays below 6 the whole time, or whether it does get up a bit more, but we can have some pretty cold weather. Conway will be on strike. He's on 46 off 37. One boundary away, or one big shot. I was talking to you, Hamish, by the way. I know, which is why I answered you. 9 fours, 2 sixes. And just having the Powerade drinks break before getting back underway. South Africa have been finding a little bit of success with spin, but at the same time, it's probably been one of their more expensive types of bowling. Hi, Hamish, how are you? Can I book your ticket, says Mohadeen. I think it's a bit too early, isn't it? December's a long way away. Hey there, Mr. Kiwi Sir, how are you? Where's your pops at? He is watching this one from the lounge. We were playing with Jibboard today, and we both got plenty of it in the eyes. So he didn't want to be sitting here, like, kind of scratching his eyeballs a little bit. Feeling like he's got a bit of a chunk in it. Jordan seems like he would be fun at the party, says JP. I feel like Jordan would definitely correct every single thing said at a party, is the way that I look at it. Someone would say that they had an experience with something, like they'd say, oh, a goat ran at me, and, it seemed like it wanted to attack me, and Jordan would go, well, actually, goats don't like to attack people. It would be something else that would have caused that. You go, oh, all right, cool, thanks. End of story. What did you build this week, says Mohadeen. Today we were doing some jip. I didn't actually work yesterday because I was sleeping after doing a couple all-nighters. Now Liam Mulder comes into the attack. Best for his T20 career is 2 wickets, 10 runs. Ramp shot straight away, attempted by Conway. It didn't even go a metre. He's actually ramped it straight into himself there, Conway, and it seems like he's hurt his leg in the process. He might have ramped that straight into his thigh. That's actually hard to do. So fair play to him. But now Conway on strike again. I think that was the shot that he tried to bring up a half century on. Now Mulder. Charging it again. Outside off stump. Conway hits it down the ground. And all the way just narrowly making it for 6. And Conway brings up the half century. 52 off 39. It has been difficult at times. But at the same time, he still played some nice shots along the way. Our games yet on this weekend, we've got the URC, we've got Super Rugby, and then also we've got some sevens in there too for sevens too. So the likes of Kenya, South Africa, and all those sides going to be playing. I always enjoy a good corrector, especially one who uses the internet to check if a joke is factual. Says Studs Rose. Or hit to the leg side, Conway doesn't time that one. He'll get the single. In your opinion, what is the better sounding nickname for the kickboxer? The zombie or the Rottweiler? Keep in mind my name is Tyler. So Tyler the zombie. I don't know if the zombie works unless you're going to go with like you got to have something else zombie, I would say. Are you any chance you know Zulu? The Zulu zombie? It's got a bit of a ring to it. But then if you aren't Zulu or no Zulu, then that probably can't go. Now Mulder. Charging in again. Pitched up. Hit down the ground for Kelly. And it beats the fielder misfield. Oh, maybe. No, but you gotta have some sort of Zulu connection for that to be the nickname. Because you know how there's like the Korean zombie in the UFC, or at least there was. I feel like Rottweiler's hard to spell. The coloured zombie? I don't know. I need more of those sixes, says Viral. Conway has been really solid here. Took a while to get started. But he seems on it now, says JP. Oh, no. I thought for a second that was Conway, but Mulder has bowled Kelly clean. And it's going to be the end of his innings at the other end. He's just been done by a good length ball there by the looks of it, Kelly. Just sneaks through him. Or it was a little bit of an off-cutter. So the slightly slower delivery does clean up his stumps. Mulder continues to be a wicket-taking option. Kelly goes 21 off 12. I think I gave him 21 off... Oh, no, in fact, I didn't give him credit for his last boundary, did I? That's a bit rough. There we go. 21 off 12 for Kelly there. And Tyler is very close to style. Tyler, the freestyle Rottweiler, says Studs Race. And the only good zombie is Rob. And by the way, do you think that second try of the Blitzbox in the final was one? I think it's better not to look too heavily into some of those decisions. I was happy that it wasn't Nick Hogan in charge of the final, though, because I don't know what the Blitzbox have over that man, but boy, is he in favour of them currently. He was the one that, on that live stream, was it last week, for the Vancouver Sevens, that even we had a lot of South Africans going, like, what does this ref owe us? Like, why is he being so nice? Are you going to be covering the URC this week? Yes, but some games may not be covered along the way. I'm hoping to cover at least probably 3 or 4, I would say. The celebrations there. Just up outside off stump, driven by Conway. No, in fact, sorry, driven by Satner. Now makes his way to the middle. And we have got the useless, says Jordan. I assume that's for Jordan. Oh, sorry, not for Jordan, for Kelly. Yep, very interesting call. Says, hey, no, are you going to be a lawyer? Nah, that's too much effort. Who's your URC team? I don't actually have one, which is kind of nice because it means that I can watch the competition from a neutral perspective and just thoroughly enjoy it. New Zealand, they have got more runs now than they had in the first match up against the South Africans, sitting 92 for 3 currently after the 11 overs. But yeah, very interesting call, Hayno, that they didn't even check too much. Was probably the more interesting part of it. Now back into the attack. McConnor, he's had in 2 overs bowled, 7 dot balls from those 2 and 11 runs. Conway again on strike. Run rate has gone above the 8.3 for New Zealand. Slower delivery from McConnor. Very well disguised. Do you think Stormers going to win? Stormers are one of the biggest favourites of the whole weekend, so if they didn't, that would be a big concern. See the replay there, though, just reaching for it. And Hamish is going to be a famous cricket commentary king. Says Ruth. Now whip to the leg side, going in the air, but it will just stay in the grasp of the man in the deep. They do get through for the 2 runs. Linda looks disappointed here in the field, but he's actually saved a couple of runs. Personally, I want the box back. Says Haino. We've still got a few more months, but not a mile away. Looks like the Black Cats might get a century this match. They're pretty close to it at the moment. That was a weird bounce that it actually took off the side of the surface. Forget URC, says Haino. Yeah, it's a weird patch, isn't it? Because now there's going to be that bit of a break in the 7s as well. We've got to wait about a month for it. Champions Cup, we're waiting a while too for that to get back underway. Conway stands up tall. It's a deep mid-wicket for 1. Oh, okay. Might have just been an itchy elbow there for Conway, but he was slightly rubbing his elbow there. Hopefully he's going to be all right. Keep run rate ticking over, boys. And French Wahoo, Allez les Bleus, says Ruth. They're just showing the next 3 to bat. Jimmy Neesham, Cole McConkey, and Josh Clarkson. Satner on strike. Punches it to short cover, no run taken. Kona's been economical so far. Only going for the 14 runs of his 2.4 overs. Quite a few dots along the way. I hate this South African commentator. She has nothing on Bish or the Aussies or the Old English guy or the Bangladesh guy. But why would they commentate for this series? Like, the best to have is, like, the couple from both, just to keep it nice and even and neutral in the commentary box. Another dot ball for Makona. Run rate. It's almost dropped down to 8 again for the Kiwis. Springboks are going to let Hamish cry. New Zealand going to win all the games. He just got back in time there, the New Zealand non-striker. Single taken by Satner down the ground. And just the 1 is taken before the end of the over. Makona only goes for 4. Brilliantly done. The ball in hand. I wouldn't be surprised if they bowl him again for not this over, but the 1 after. New Zealand sitting with the run rate of exactly 8. 96 for 3 off 12. And a couple big overs, the Kiwis, but last over that went for 4. In fact, there has only been 1 other over that has gone for as little as that. We've seen that was the wicket over. Mr. Kiwi, sir, I've been watching some panda videos and damn, they are cute. You said you like pandas, right? Says Junior. Yeah, pandas are great because they just seem so stupid in a good way. You know, they seem carefree. They get given a hammock and they go, yay, I'm going to swing on it. And then they flip upside down, land on their head and go, oh, well, we'll try that again tomorrow. Maybe a different result will happen. Kotsia comes back in. 7 economy so far. Sack the Bulls players. Says Mohadeen. When I say Neesham old fart, I put the huge majority of the Springbok players in the same boat. Says Jordan. Do you know what I find interesting, Jordan? I know that on the rugby ones you get annoyed when people bring up South Africa. But you've brought up South African rugby more than anyone on the stream at this point. And it's cricket. So you're kind of doing what you said you hate when people do. I don't bother with other commentary on TV. Kiwi Lads is the best, says Ruth. Dot ball for the start of the Kutsia over. And it's been a little bit slow getting going. He did have that longer innings in the World Cup final, although never really pushed that strike rate too hard. We're living in your head rent-free, Jordan, says JP. And Jordan, now, come on now, focus on the cricket, says Haino. Again, just a punch. Oh, okay, turned around there, Satner, looking to get himself down the other end. I'd like to think Satner will actually have a bit of a crack here at some point. He's 1 off 6 currently. He does have the power, so if it's pitched up and in the slot, hopefully he would have a bit of a swing. Do you know Live Golf? I do, but at the same time, like, I watched all the last season. I've been saving this season. Like, I don't know any of the results, and I've purposely kept it that way so that I can watch them all later on. But yeah, I did watch it last year. A little bit of a misfield in the deep for South Africa. New Zealand should be able to get back for a comfortable 3 here. You watched the new season of One Piece on Netflix, Mr. Kiwi Sir. Did you know that it was shot here in Cape Town? I've actually never seen One Piece, any of them. Sat in at 5 is mildly concerning. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one, isn't it? Because last match he was playing as a 6, and that's relatively high up for Satner too. But now, you know, as the 5, this is where we'd like to see him maybe attack a bit more. I'm going to be working at Live Golf, so getting money in free entrance. Says, I know, well, it'll be a pretty incredible experience. That'll be for the South African leg, won't it? Now going away to the leg side, whipped by Conway for 1 down to deep fine leg. And that is the 100 now brought up here for the New Zealanders. 3 figures, something that they weren't able to do in the last game. Much more structured here, though. This current run rate, New Zealand are going to struggle to get to 200. Yeah, they're going to have to push a little bit. Yep, this Thursday till Sunday. And also, we have there, Jordan, being mad at everything 24/7 makes you age more too, Gramps. Says JP, short ball, well kept by Esterhazen. It is actually called as a wide, getting above Satner's head. Could see unable to take any wickets so far throughout this contest. Yeah, that is a little bit short. Could see disappointed with the call, although he did bang it in. 10 fours for New Zealand, 3 sixes. More than half of their runs have actually come from boundaries here. You're going to need a couple more, though, from Satner. The captain needs a bit of a knock. Pitched up, head out to deep cover. Again, just the casual single taken. Looking at the bottom of his bat here, Satner. Conway is the set batsman. He's on 57 off 44. Getting 600 Rand per day, which is about 64 New Zealand dollars. And the thing is, getting free entry as well is the big one, I would say. Like, just to be a part of that, it's going to be absolutely incredible. I have an aging problem, don't deny it, says Jordan. I like how you just ignored the part when I said that you get mad at people talking about South African rugby, but you're still talking about South African rugby, even though it's cricket. And South Africa don't play for like 4 months. Now, that is going to be the end of the over. And again, a pretty economical one, just the 5 runs off it. In fact, 6 runs off that one. New Zealand's projected score at the moment, if they score 10 and over from here, they'll get to 172. 12 and over would get them 186. We need to start getting runs. What are we doing, says Jordan? Yeah, it's almost as if after that last wicket, they decided that they wanted to have a bit of a rebuild, but I don't necessarily think they needed to. But now, I'd say, yep, spin's coming back in. Mone van Heerden. His Great Western Province lock playing for the Boks in 70s and 80s. Says Ruth. Now Linda, back into the attack. He has taken a wicket. I have class now. I'm going to keep you playing in the background, so hopefully you do enjoy the class. And away, Satner to deep point. Oh, misfield in the deep. The spin beat him. He almost ended up overrunning it, and that is going to be now 4 extra, and Satner goes up to runner ball territory. Well, the promising youngsters on both these sides, if you had to bet on some, says JP. I mean, I learned yesterday that Jarol Klotsia is only 25 years of age. And the way that he was swinging that ball in the first T20, I would say that he definitely has a bright future. I'm not sure how old Ruden Herman is, but his fielding, that sharp run out that he got in the first innings was definitely thoroughly impressive. That one's going to be hit to the leg side from Satner into the deep. Getting just 1. I don't think South Africa will mind these singles too much, as long as New Zealand's run rate only sticks around that 8 or so and over. I'd be looking at around 160 to have to try and chase. Might be easier said than done, although we haven't really seen what this South African side are actually capable of. Purely because they didn't have to try too hard in the first one. It sounds like they have reset the field now. Just moving some players around a little bit. Now, ooh, big swing of one hand there from Conway. Gets it down to the man at deep, fine leg. They thought about going to. I think Conway may have been run out there had he tried it. See it there. Average bounce at the moment. Linda's getting a whole extra, probably maybe 3 or 4 inches of bounce. That is because of that extra height that he offers. Currently 6 runs of his first 3 balls. Down the leg side, that'll be a wide. You know, an old cricketing legend by the name of Jonty Rhodes, best fielder I ever watched. Jonty Rhodes definitely up there. In fact, a lot of people still have him at number 1, even though we've had so much cricket since then. Anything more than 160 is tough, says Haino. Morne Finhiran was a balls lock legend. Ooh, giving himself a bit of space there, Satner, but can only hit it back down the ground. A little bit of frustration shown on the captain's face. He doesn't show it too often. In this case, he's annoyed that he hasn't been able to do something a little bit better with that one. Now Linda's still going through. And over, that one rocks back there. Satner goes all the way for 6. Just shows that power. The fact that for that one, he didn't really wind up too much. Matthew Sinclair made a great catch once, says the Sporting Kiwi. I once also took a great catch ages ago. But I think I got it on the GoPro. I don't think I'd be able to find it if I tried to, though, sadly. But it was a one-handed one. It is a 6 Linda now. This is a much more expensive over. It seems like maybe they have started to work him out. They need to hurry up. They are throwing, says Jordan. Well, they've just hit it for 6 off the Satner ball. So that was obviously tight before Satner got the 6, you'd assume. Keep going, Satner, says Jordan. Now last ball. Winds up, hits it again. There's a man, but it doesn't go towards him. Goes out to the side. And it's going to be another 4 runs for Mitch Satner. He moves up to 20 off 13. The Bat Cap's now 119 for 3. I was less of Malinga a chucker. No, I don't. I think it would hurt too much to try and chuck it when you go at that angle. Miraliferin, that was one that was more of a debate. But yeah, it's a tricky one to say for even Miraliferin, because they slowed it all down. They put him in a cast and he was still bowling it the way that he normally would. And good but risky, says Jordan. Although I think with only being 3 down, you can afford to take some risks. Colin Bland was another great fielder along with Jonty. A run-out specialist, says Anthony. As Bumrah chucker, says Haino. He's very wristy, Bumrah, but his arm actually hyperextends. So I feel like that's another factor. Oh, slower Yorker, nicely bowled by Bartman, but it gets hit down the ground for 1. And the Hurricanes better play Siali Laukai this weekend. If they don't, we're going to hear about it for the whole 2 hours, aren't we, unfortunately? Like last week. Just showing that boundary again, a Satner off the last ball. So there were a few boundaries involved on that Linda over. Conway's up to 59 off 47. Satner. Aggressive run rate currently. Oh, and he's gone. Clean bowled by Bartman. Half a look as well there. Slight celebration. Satner will be on his way. Managed to just about get back to a decent position there, the Black Cats, but then have lost another one. I think it was the cutter again. They bowled quite a few of those throughout this contest, the Proteas, and I feel like New Zealand will definitely be taking notes of that. Goes Satner, says NZ Riot. Strike rate of 142 for Mitch Satner, full of wicket, 120 for 4. Still some decent time remaining. It will be Jimmy Neesham who makes his way out to the middle. Where can they fit in with the props at the Hurricanes, though? Is someone injured? Says the Sporting Kiwi. You're opening a can of worms there, the Sporting Kiwi. He's now going to give you a massive lecture about why Pasili Otosi, he doesn't like him and that he feels like Siali Lauakai is better than him. And the fact that Lauakai can play on both sides of the scrum means that he could kick anyone out of the starting side. Hopefully that I've said all that for him. He won't go into it now. But that is the gist of what we normally hear. Don't worry, Neesham is going to save the day. Well, to be fair, Neesham didn't do too badly in the last match. One of the few men who didn't chuck his wicket away straight away. Replace Tossi is a bad scrummager. You see it there, just clipping the bail of Mitch Satner. It's quite interesting. We're seeing a lack of foot movement from the Black Caps here. Conway's done it a little bit too. Is that the new style? You put in some serious work, fella. Love your mahi, says Dell. Yeah, it is greatly appreciated. I mentioned about it near the start of the stream. I can't think of the last time we've done a live stream on a Tuesday. And normally maybe Monday because of the sevens or the longer weekend with the rugby union. But in terms of a Tuesday, it doesn't really happen. How things have changed back in the days. We never had B-sides in any sports. It seems to all the time devaluing the jersey much. That's just because of money, isn't it? Like, let's be honest, if you're getting paid millions in different franchise cricket when you only have a certain lifespan and career span, like, you got to take the money while it's there. Rugby World Cup draw, says, hey, no, yeah, potentially it would have been the last midweek. So that was December last year, wasn't it? It was round about my birthday. My bad, the TV NZ coverage seems to be behind this. Says NZ Bright, yeah, I'm watching on the TAB because normally it's a little bit quicker, so that way I avoid the spoilers. But what you could do, NZ Riot, which I would highly recommend, is just pause me for like 20 seconds. Just have me sitting there on pause mode. And then if you then click play, I should be roughly the same. Driven there. Call of weight from Neesham. They won't get the single. Conway is up to 60 runs of 48. It's been a good over from Bartman. Just the 3 runs off it and the wicket. Looking like a 180, 185 score for New Zealand, says Anthony. Also there, Hamish, whereas Kane Williamson, I don't think he's going to be around too much in the Black Caps setup. Definitely not for short format anyway, not in the T20s. Neesham rocks back. It's to the leg side for the single to deep backwards square leg. That'll be the end of the Bartman over. Only 4 runs off it and the wicket taken. Be 123 for 4. Let me know, how many will the Black Caps get? 30 balls left, theoretically. I would say 180 would be decent enough. I know the mechanic, says Turkiov. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. Also, I've never talked to him in my life. As you are the goat, EJ's is an idiot, says Jordan. He's not though, is he? Like, you can have your opinions about if you like me or who you don't like, but like, you don't have to go and badmouth other content creators. At the end of the day, without guys like him, like, the rugby world on YouTube isn't as big as it is. You know, it's the same as when you look through at the guys who started doing it first, 2 Cents Rugby, Gareth Mason, those type of guys. Without them doing rugby YouTube, there's no platform for me to be able to even do this. And I'm G. Neesham, says Jordan. It has nothing to do with money. Many of our players are available but aren't playing. Would you say that's because they're going into other competitions and don't want to get injured so that they can still get paid? Did your dad also ever meet a New Zealand cricket player? I think he's met a few. We have got there, he works in your house, though only your dad talked to him. No, he doesn't work in my house. He works at the local petrol station. An important innings by Conway, says NZ Right. Yeah, currently sits there 60 runs off 48. At least we scored more than 100 runs this time, says NZ Right. This one's worked to the leg side. Oh, big caller weight. Just get the one. There's been some sharp fielding from South Africa in this innings, but also a few little shaky moments. As Gareth Mason actually did, he is. And be very careful what you say next, or else you're facing a channel ban, Jordan. We've let you away with plenty, but if you're going to start going down that rate or that route, you'll be gone very quickly. We have what happened to the New Zealand 20 League. I know there was meeting about something. It sounds like it's still potentially going ahead. Now that's hit straight up in the air from Devon Conway. Chance with the gloves on, and it is taken cleanly by Esterhuizen. Conway now gone 60 off 49. Surely New Zealand can't find themselves bowled out here before the end of the innings, right? Conway 60 off 49, a slower innings than some would have thought by the time he reached the 49 balls, the 60 runs on the board. We have there what's up. Hopefully our batters get a chance to bat today. I want to see all the batters get a shot to play. And the South African squad, says Xander. Yeah, see, last match we didn't really get to see too much, did we? It was all just the top order and also a different style of batting because they didn't need a huge amount of runs. They didn't have to go too hard at it, and they could just breeze to the total. We see Cole McConkey making his way to the middle. I think that was Jordan who sent you England versus New Zealand cricket AI picture in Discord. And pinged us in the Discord, says Turkeyov. You see, I don't actually know who's who in the Discord. I also hardly go on Discord. Normally it's only to post the live stream links and everything along those lines. I do a lot more messaging on Instagram and that sort of thing. They're just showing there. Take that one straight up in the air. Let's make that 180, 169, says Anthony. It's a very nice take from Esterhuizen. It's almost not quite the replay of the Quinton de Kock situation from the Cricket World Cup. Of course, that one was much more the keeper's catch here. Charging in Mulder. Gareth Matthews, calm down, says Jordan. That's ironic for you to say calm down when you've been complaining about everything throughout this whole live stream. We have got there, you're so good, fair and pleasant. You're not allowed talking rubbish on your platform, says Ruth. Currently, New Zealand are sitting 125 for 5, 8 extras from the South Africans. It's actually been a good spread in terms of 5 wickets and 4 different bowlers have taken them. Mulder has got himself 2 of them, the Kelly wicket and also the Conway wicket. Which game's covering this weekend, says Hayno. So Bulls versus Cardiff is a 50-50 at the moment just because it's an early morning start on Saturday and I'm probably coaching kids cricket. So that one I might have to miss. If you want to jump in for that one, Hayno, let me know. We're going to be doing Lions, Edinburgh, Sharks, Munster, maybe Glasgow, Leinster. And Stormers, Dragons, we're hopefully doing that as well. And then also the Super Rugby ones. We have got there. Anything is an improvement after the Caps. Our last 2 games, says Spencer. Punched off the back foot for Jimmy Neesham again. You say absolutely nothing and then you just say that. So that would tell you, Jordan, that you're obviously annoying people. If they haven't said anything else on the whole live stream other than to call you out for being annoying, then surely that should be substantial evidence that maybe you're doing a bit too much. Maybe. Lockie Ferguson would make Abhishek Sharma his girlfriend, says Turkeyov. I mean, he went for, 48 runs off his 2 overs in the final up against India, Lockie Ferguson. You think Mulder could be level with Marco Janssen? He's just bowling a bit too slow. Good to see him picking up wickets here, says Xander. Yeah, I think he is a little bit slower, but he seems to bowl a really good line and length. And the Kiwis are struggling to hit him at the moment. Neesham again. Going with the back foot cover drive for one. Let's have a poll. Let the tribe decide. I don't like his chances if it went to a poll, I'll be honest. McConnor to his last bowling over. He went for 15 runs of his first 3 overs. No, it was only after I asked that question. Exactly. That's what I said. We have got there, cool, says Aino. Or hit to the leg side in the air, but it will fall short of the fielder once more. These two, it's a tricky one because they both are just coming to the middle. We've seen 8 balls for Neesham, so he almost has to start considering going. McConkey's faced 2 balls. He's got 2 runs. I'll let you know on the balls one. Says Aino. How come Scott Kugelheim can't make the team? Says the Sporting Kiwi. There's probably quite a few guys who haven't been able to make the team as a whole, to be fair. But, yeah, I guess it just depends on what they're really looking for. Oh, ramp shot there from Neesham. Doesn't time it. Taken by the keeper. These other overs just supposed to be hitting bib. Would you go to Dubai? Maybe. And it's usually Kiwi Rob. Yeah, you know you're doing something badly if you're out. I don't even know. I was going to say outperforming Kiwi Rob. Kiwi Rob and Roof is Hamish's cameraman. I mean, I have a webcam, so it's just on a tripod. Nice and easy. No chance on that pole, mate, says JP. Oh, that's an aggressive short ball from McCona. Oh, and it's called as a wide. That seemed harsh, but we'll see it from the side angle to see how short it actually was. Only 129 on the board. Just showing there the third T20 International. It is taking place on Friday night at Eden Park. Now, that is one of those games that unfortunately we won't be able to cover due to the Highlanders versus Hurricanes game. It will be on the channel instead. The fourth one is taking place in Wellington. Slower, wide delivery from McConnor. Another dot ball. Only 108 Ks for that delivery, so a nice slower one. Kiwi Rob isn't saying anything, bro. Yeah, so you are winning in that department. And McCona. 2 balls remaining of his spell. That one's going to be sliced away by McConkey. That one was hit very hard and fast. There was luckily a fielder back there for the Proteas. Whoever put this team together should be fired. They look clueless. Says IVS. We talking about Black Caps or the Proteas? I assume Black Caps, right? You don't fill in for him, Jordan, says JP. The guy that's putting this team together is the South African. I assume you're referring to the Proteas there. Yep. Slower ball from McCona again. Hit hard and just about snuck through the fingers. They'll get back for 2. McCona, a very good spell there. Didn't take any wickets, but only going for the 22 runs for the Black Caps, says IVS. Now 133 for 5. New Zealand have 18 balls approximately to try and start ramping it up and get to that 170 mark. That would be 37 runs from here, which with the amount of wickets in hand should be relatively doable. Next man to the middle would be Josh Clarkson. It's been talked about his power. Black Cats coach the South African says the Sporting Kiwi, so you think it's an inside job. I give most places a miss. I love to go to New Orleans, USA for jazz music and atmosphere. Lockie Ferguson is similar, like Rudiger and Real Madrid. No, I don't know where that is. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, that's a football player. Never mind. We have got there, Jordan. You'll find it's not only the coach, that's the South African. Black Caps have had their fair share of South African players in recent years. Yeah, they're normally our stars, aren't they? That one's going to be a hit to the leg side. 4 runs for Cole McConkey. You know, you look at Watling, Wagner. The list could actually go on. Conway currently. It's just nicely turned round the corner. Where's this game being played? It is being played in Hamilton. South Africans are great cricketers, says Dane. They certainly are. Been some fantastic cricketers out of South Africa throughout the years, whether that's back in the days of Callis or more recently in T20. AB de Villiers, of course, perfect example. That one's going to be hit in the air by McConkey. Ooh, little misfield there in the field. And that manages to give the Black Caps enough time to skirt through for 2. We have got at least Rob Walter is better than that idiot Gary Steed. She's Amish Spencer. Don't want a South African coach. Says bad to the bone. Why not? Pitched up. That's close to the stumps for Marcel Coetzee. No, they're not. They've never got to Williamson level. I mean, if I had to pick either BJ Watling or Williamson as my wicketkeeper, I'd go with Watling. Like different roles for different players. I want someone to bowl short balls at the opposition for 5 hours. So I'd probably still pick Neil Wagner over anyone. I don't watch. I want to coach. Full stop. Coaches in cricket are irrelevant, says the Sporting Kiwi. Outside off stump, that wasn't supposed to go where it did, but he has somehow scooped it around like a golf shot to the leg side for the single. The South Africans in our side have been poor lately. Although one of them's our top run scorer at the moment in this game, in Devon Conway. 60 could come in very handy for New Zealand as a whole, although I'd like to see one of these two start to go that little bit quicker. At the moment, only sitting around the runner ball for both. And come on, somebody hit 3 sixes, says Ruth. Now Coetzee. 7 runs off this over. It's wide, it's the edge, and Neesham is gone. Didn't get the foot across to it, just tried to swing the hands and the bat at the ball, and that is going to be Coetzee's first wicket. On a second last delivery. Add Neesham to the total, and this is when New Zealand really needed to start going aggressive. I'm not sure what that shot is from Neesham. As a young cricketer, you're taught to put your foot towards the ball. Of course, you've got to put your head towards it as well, but Neesham, that's the type of shot that you'd see from someone who isn't completely experienced in cricket and has just kind of tried to have a big old swing at it, hoping for the best. He's made it difficult for himself. He is now dismissed 8 runs off 11 balls. Now it brings Clarkson to the middle. Gary Steed is done. Why didn't bro let Neil Wagner play in Cricket World Cup 2019? Could have already eaten Ben Stokes. Because I'm patriotic, everything is New Zealand to me. Says bad to the bone. Told you Neesham is bad every time, says Jordan. Just like every time you complain, every time about everything, every time. Clarkson, ready to face his first delivery. Herschel Gibson Callis, says Ruth. Now tapping the bat hard. He might just go for a swing straight away. Oh, it was a good ball though. Probably would have clean bowled him had he tried to give it the big hit to the leg side. Just a single taken off the final ball of the over. New Zealand 141 for 6. Shane Warne had a dim view of cricket, or had a dim view of cricket coaches, famously joking that a coach was merely transport to the ground, arguing that international players needed mentoring rather than technical instruction. Says the Sporting Kiwi. You see, it's probably a tricky one because they'll have someone else who does all the analysing of how they went out and everything along those lines. But the coach, the funny thing is though, when the team does badly, the coach is the one that gets the blame. Even though it's also argued at times that they don't have to do that much, if that makes sense. It's still the coach that gets the sack if a team isn't performing. Marchman now back in. It's about 3 overs. Economy of 7 and also has taken a wicket. Outside off stump. Single taken by Clarkson. Strike rate of 100 for that man. McConkey is just above that with 10 off 8. New Zealand had 3 Lockie Fergusons. They would restrict every team under 50. Lockie Ferguson almost went for 50 off 2 overs in that final up against India. So by that logic, opposition, what would they score? They'd score 480 runs up against the Lockie Ferguson attack in that final if that was the case. Hit down the ground. And no run taken there. And Shane Warne awesome, says Ruth. Jordan is neither. He's Somalian, says Dane. 160 might be a stretch here for the Kiwis. They can't get a couple boundaries. Although McConkey has power. He did show it in that World Cup. Steps across, hits the leg. Straight out to the man at deep mid-wicket for one. 480 runs in T20, says Turkeyov. That is, of course, if they were going at the 48 per 2 overs. That would work out to be about that, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, hit leg side. Clarkson whips it off his pads, and that is 4 runs. Much needed boundary here for the Black Caps. Run rate is still just under the 8 per over here. Yeah, Ferguson had a bad game. It's the cross-seam delivery from Bartman. Actually, he ended up popping off the surface quite a bit. Ended up around that hip to midsection of Clarkson. Outside off stump. Cut. They're going to take the 2. Hello, Hamish CSQ. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. All right, Bartman, he's gone for 8 runs so far off this over. If he can get through with either a dot or a single, I think South Africa would be more than happy with that. We are currently 7 balls remaining. Tim Syphon and Finn Allen could have made 400 runs on the board if Mitch Santner batted first, and if their wives give both of them a bit more therapy in their legs, says Turkeyov. Hit leg side. Clarkson will get at least 1 here. They'll take the 2. It's up being 10 off the over for Bartman. New Zealand 151 for 6 with the 6 balls remaining. I'm Scottish, Norwegian, Swedish, and Irish Kiwi, says Jordan. The problem with Lockie is he doesn't quite get it right. He goes for heaps, as most fast bowlers do. Says bad to the bone. And that's the slight downside of having express pace. You know, a lot of these guys are good enough to face it, but sometimes it's just that little half second of indecision that can get some of them out. But if they're picking you and they're working out what you're going to do, it doesn't take a lot to get a little bit of bat on the ball and it go all the way, even just off the edge for 6. We have got there, Hamish, who's your favourite who's your favourite to win Cricket World Cup next year? I haven't actually really thought about. Where's it even being played? Oh, a big shot down the ground from McConkey. It's probably the biggest 6 of the day, coming at a very crucial time for the Kiwis. Maharaj being put under pressure right from the get-go at the start of his over. An 82 metres, so not quite the biggest. I think Conway had an 87 metre 6. It's definitely a clean strike. He advanced down the ground. Lockie Ferguson becomes prime Lassif Malinga against South Africa. Could be a competitive score. South Africa struggled to get 100 the other day. They did, but at the same time, they didn't have to rush. Oh, bit of a misfield from Bartman. They don't take the additional run, though. Because, yeah, if you're only chasing 91, I don't think a majority of sides wouldn't just rush out and try and get it quickly, because then you risk getting yourself bowled out as well. All they needed to do was just breeze to it. I'm excited to see what Esterhuizen can do here, though, because we saw him play that more test match ODI type of innings in the last T20. Whereas here he'll have to go a little bit more aggressive. Oh, that's a big shot from Clarkson. That might be the biggest 6 of the day. And already off this Maharaj over, it has gone for 13 runs. This is turning what could have been a 164 New Zealand much more towards that 170, 180. The next World Cup is being held in South Africa with Zimbabwe and Namibia hosting some games. CSQ, 87 metre 6 there for Clarkson. Pitched up or trying to hit it to the leg side there for Clarkson rather than the off. It could be a competitive score, never know. Yeah, I think anything over 150, definitely with the dew factor here, is probably quite well done. Advancing, hit down the ground. The caller catch him. The only one catching that one are the ones in the stands, though. And that is 3 6s off the over. 19 runs so far. Did you ever get bullied in school? Not really. Oh, yeah, I've got this is better. Now we actually have a game on. Oh, well. I thought this was only for rugby commentary. Didn't know you did cricket as well. We actually had a patch of about 3 years where we didn't really get to do a lot of cricket. We used to do just as much cricket as rugby. But a few copyright issues caused us to have to stop doing the cricket for a while. It's a wide delivery from Maharaj. Still one ball remaining. I just read my comment. I did. That I answered it. Now Maharaj, last ball, hit down the ground. Clarkson smashes it hard in New Zealand. Get to 175. That's probably a competitive total now. Looked like it was going to be a little bit low, but these two went out there and actually had a little bit of a crack. Clarkson was getting a bit of stick earlier on, saying that he didn't have that power, but 26 off the 9 balls. Maharaj, he was smart to get out of the way of that. That would have really hurt the finger. That was the haters. Says Robert. New Zealand are better in tests and ODIs. Amazing how they made the T20 final their weakest format. Says bad to the bones. And Conky also having a decent showing there. 18 runs off 12 deliveries. Did feed the strike to Clarkson near the end of that innings as well. It'll be cool next year to see Zimbabwe stun everybody and make the Cricket World Cup semi-final. And the thing is, they did so brilliantly throughout this last World Cup, didn't they? The fact that they were able to beat Australia was something that I don't think anyone had predicted. Should have got 2 more. We'll wait and see. We'll see whether or not it's short by 20 or whether it's just right for the Black Caps here. Kutsia, he was one of the slightly more economical bowlers. He had quite a few dot balls. McConnor did well too with only 5.5 per over. And Mulder bowling 2 overs, 14 runs for 2 wickets. I'm kind of surprised they didn't give him an extra one with how he was bowling. I remember years ago, Mark Richardson said the T20 should become like Sevens rugby, where you just have T20 specialists. Says the Sporting Kiwi. John, you've been whining about this Black Cats performance from the start. All you need to do there, JP, is take out Black Caps and performance. And you've got a perfect sentence there. Where are New Zealand going to be? Okay, thanks. Says Ruth. Is it going to be enough? 175. We're 6 down. We're getting slightly more towards the tail. Still could have batted afterwards with Zach Folkes, Kyle Jamieson and Ben Sears. A few heavy shots, though, from Clarkson and McConkey near the end to be able to get it going in the right direction for the Black Cats. Okay, Conway was saying it was a little bit too paced on the wicket at times. I think that was also because of the way that we saw the bowlers mixing in their slower deliveries. It's quite impressive to watch. I'm not sure about the South Africa batting at the moment. 175 seems competitive enough, says Anthony. Yeah, there's a lot of unknown, isn't there, in regards of this South African side. Because, you know, we didn't even get to see some of these middle order batsmen out there in the middle. And made good from last time. In the past, I would be confident with our bowling lineups to defend this score, but I'm unsure of this bowling lineup, says the Sporting Kiwi. Yeah, see, if it swings, maybe, because then you've got folks who really gets into it. Jameson can get the ball to talk a bit too. Why doesn't the New Zealand cricket team do the haka, says Rishan? I think it just depends on the sport, really. There are a few sports that you don't see a haka beforehand. The footballers don't do the haka either. I'm predicting the semi-finals to be Zimbabwe versus South Africa, India versus New Zealand. The final is India versus South Africa. South Africa choke in the final. Says Q. Although maybe in front of the home crowd, that would be the time that somehow, some way it changes in terms of the white ball game. South Africa need 176 runs here at 8.8 runs per over. Be able to get them to the total that they desire. New Zealand able to get that 175. New Zealand, though, the best team to never win a World Cup, says QQQ. It never stops, does it, says JP. I can picture Mona van Heeren face now. And the Blue Bulls shirt. Awesome player, says Ruth. Yeah, just getting prepared for the second innings in this contest. Anyone just tuning in now, I will quickly put it down the bottom, the wicket takers, or the wickets that did fall. We saw Latham go out 11 off 10 runs. Sorry, 11 off 10 balls. Robinson 1 off 3. Kelly 21 off 12. He got off to a reasonable start, then ended up getting dismissed. Satner 20 off 14. Conway ended up getting 60 off 49. A slow, methodical build for him. He mentioned about the 2 paced wickets, so we'll see whether or not that affects the way that the Proteas bat. Neesham also going out 8 off 11. And then 2 men who did not go out at the end, Clarkson, as well as McConkey, putting together a reasonable partnership, including a big last over for the side. Do you have a picture of that mechanic, Kane Williamson? No. No, I don't keep random pictures of mechanics in my house. I looked at the average score. It said 160, 170. Yeah, I think that last over was a very crucial one for the Black Caps here, because without that last over, the scoreline looks very different. Zimbabwe won't do that, says Jordan. And come on, another good day to come, says Ruth. I can understand people disliking the box because we are, or have been somewhat dominant. But not the Proteas, man. Let us suffer in silence, says JP. What features Kane Williamson does he have in his face? Pretty much just looking like Kane Williamson. He's got the same beard, got the same haircut. The box won't dominate for long, says Bad to the Bone. We're talking about Springboks, right? We're getting tested today. New team for us. Zabi, it's New Zealand because we're similar in our games, says Clint. Yeah, it'll be a nice little matchup that we get to see. Some of these guys without a lot of international experience. Springboks peak too early like Ireland did last time. Can you say they peaked too early when they've won back-to-back World Cups? Like, because on the technicality, that would be peaking perfectly, wouldn't it? Like, if you're really looking at it from the technical standpoint. A big mistake for South Africa going for spin. And the last over, says Rishan. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't bowl Mulder. Like, he was 14 runs, 2 wickets. He was able to get for himself, which to me says chuck him in there and give him the opportunity. I think maybe he could have gone for a few. But at the same time, like, I don't think he would have gone for as many as Maharaj. He would have been much harder to get to the boundary just because of that length that he was hitting. Same thing Hamish says every live, right? We're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. Says Turkyov. And nobody should hate any team. They're all sportsmen. And their own rights, they deserve respect. Most of them would be funny doing the haka. Says Bad to the Bone. In this cycle. Okay, well, I guess we have to wait for the World Cup, don't we? Because, like, you could argue that some sides are going better now, but they might also still be going good for the World Cup. They may not be going good for the World Cup, but, like, yeah, we kind of got to wait to see if it's correct or not. Also, the Springboks aren't dominant. What happened versus the Aussies? Says Jordan, they lost that game, then went on to win the Rugby Championship, right? It also had the record win up against New Zealand in New Zealand. That one, that Springboks team we're talking about. I just felt shy reading the comment. No, I've already done the intro, so I didn't need to do another one. Tougher than Bucky is bother. Well, that's tough, says Ruth. 175. 48 dot balls. That's thoroughly impressive. From the South African bowling attack, 11 dots for Kutsia. Makona had 11. 10 dots for Bartman. Maharaj had the least dots out of anyone with the 4. And also went for 45 runs of his 3 overs. I'll say it again. I think they should have gone with Mulder in that last over. And it may have cost them about 10 less runs. They've still got the batting lineup, an opportunity. I remember I used to fear the All Blacks in the early 2010s. There was a level of respect and appreciation. It's funny to me that no one has that respect for the box. But so be it, says JP. Cricket, soccer, hockey, pretty much white man's game in New Zealand, says Bad. We won't win that. It's too big of a score. Winning on points differential is not dominant. I mean, the dominant win in Wellington, or where was it Wellington? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? After the Eden Park close test. Now ready to go for this one again. This is a familiar situation, although South Africa, they do now have to chase down an extra about 85 runs compared to what they had to do in the first T20 up against the Kiwis. Any dirty players should be penalised. But no hate, please. Ban them, rather. Says Ruth. And South Africa have never reached a Cricket World Cup final. That's got to hurt, says Q. They have reached one, haven't they? Because their semi-final record in T20 World Cup finals was 1-3 from what I remember. The answer why is because so many done for roids, even after playing internationals. Says Jordan. You just never stop, do you, Jordan? Like, I get it. You don't like South Africa. You love New Zealand, but not really because you hate on the Black Caps every time they play. Just, like, shut up. You're just annoying at this point. We're going to not ODI, but T20 International, yes, says Ano. And I'm talking about the main cricket. Oh, okay, so not the T20 side of things. We have got the yes, but South Africa didn't deserve to win the final. Just jammy. Says bad to the bone. Esther Hazen. Sitting here now, ready to go. He did get himself in the mid-40s for the last matchup. God, Jameson, 29 matches, 26 wickets. I love cricket because we don't headline in the results, says Clint D. Yeah, I feel like people are a lot more forgiving of umpires, if that makes sense. Like, an umpire makes a bad call, people don't blame that for the reason that a side loses. Like, they do, in some regards, like, in a way, hold the players accountable for what happens rather than blaming, like, a referee for how badly a side played. I respect good sports teams. You don't really or need to love the country or their people. Kyle Jamieson will be bowling this first over here for New Zealand. As an alternative account of Kiwi Rob. Says Q. Right, first ball. Jamieson. Pitches it up. Little bit of swing there as well. Decent length from Jamieson. Just starts swinging away. And then a bit of a drive attempt from, I think it is Easthuizen on strike. Oh no, in fact it's Mulder. My apologies. Just gets that one to drift away nicely. 176 runs. It's a long way. That's almost half a game. With dot balls. Yeah, the maths on it was 48. Which means, what is that? Probably 2 and a bit each over were dots for the South African team. Now, Devon Conway, actually, he faced quite a few dot balls too throughout his innings. That one outside off stump, trying to pull it away to the leg side for Mulder. Straight into the hands of Latham. As South Africa have always had good hitters. I think they should win this as it gets easier the later it gets, says NZ Riot. Never seen much good batting from De Souza. He seems inconsistent, no, says JP. I'm the same. I haven't seen too many. Or is he the same De Souza who was in the test side a wee while ago? I think I saw one good innings from him. It might have even been when we were commentating the test matches. But outside of that, I'm not too sure what he's done in short format. Single taken by Mulder. It's to the leg side. Now 175 left for the South Africans. Hopefully the scoreboard starts kicking itself. There we go. And Fuff the Clerk will sort Jordan out with a hairdryer bottle. Yes, same one. He isn't great, says Hayno. The same guy, yes. I also saw that one good innings. Is that his only good innings that he's had? And Jameson. Still that swing on offer, which I think will tell us quickly that we're going to see a lot of folks throughout this bowling attack early on just to try and get that ball swinging. So they will want to use that pace of Sears as well, with it being on offer. Jameson started this one quite nicely for the Black Caps. 3 dot balls, just the one single. It's because they brag too much. They only have one World Cup. He probably has had like 5 good innings, maybe a bit more. Okay, so is that all tests that he's had the good innings or short format too? Drive there from Mulder, no run taken. Oh, in fact, sorry, that was Easthuizen that time. Connie Easthuizen seems promising, only 24. He actually showed a lot of maturity in his last innings as well. The way that rather than just going out of the gates absolutely firing, he just slowly and methodically worked down at that total of 91. At the end of the day, you know, your net run rate isn't a thing in this type of series. Mostly tests, says Hano. So we'll see whether or not he can switch to that next level, get that strike rate really firing. Last ball of the Jameson over. 1 run so far off it. Down the leg side, that'll be 2 runs, and he's still going to have to bowl another one. And in swingers, says Ruth. Stays in disappointed to not have caught up with that one. New Zealand, not a lot of protection back there. Jameson, he's got quite the long run up. Let's go back to the mark. Just finished thinking about the wides. We did see quite a few of them from New Zealand. And that T20 World Cup final. Tighten up the bowling line here. That's better off the edge. They had a slip and play, but it went to about maybe 3rd or 4th slip. Singled down to Jimmy Neesham at 3rd man. In fact, no, it was Clarkson. He did end up fielding that one, and 3 for none. I'm holding my breath for 6 overs, says Clint D. So we're going to need 173 more runs off the 114 balls. Required run rate is just over 9 at the moment. Close the over out, Jameson, says Jordan. Okay, Lockie Ferguson. Who's he in for? Is he in for Ben Sears? I had Ben Sears as the number 11 initially. Maybe it's Zach Folkes actually who's out. Now that I think about it. Oh, are the dangerous New Zealand bowlers in this lineup? I think Lockie Ferguson with pace will be handy. I feel like I've got someone with the wrong name down, though, for this New Zealand side, as Ferguson isn't there on the starting team and he is bowling at the moment. I actually thought he was initially listed as 12th man, but I've obviously got that slightly wrong. I need a strong coffee, strong and sweet like Mel Gibson. What channel are you watching? So it is on TV NZ Plus here in New Zealand, but also on the TAB. If you want to watch the coverage just a little bit further ahead. Jameson can swing well. Not with enough speed or accuracy, says NZ Riot. Oh, that's back leg. They're going to sneak the leg by there. Like that. And like that as well. Yeah, that one just jagged back in a little bit off the surface. Mulder sitting on 1 off 3 currently. New Zealand need early wickets. Yeah, I think that is probably the big key to success. That one was a full toss from Ferguson. Mulder drives it, but it goes straight to Satner. And Jameson should play rugby. 6'8" is a nice lock size. I'll never forget watching James Anderson swing a ball, thing of beauty. Says JP, yeah, it was always phenomenal watching the way, like, you don't get the nickname Sultan of Swing without being able to control that ball extremely well. And him and Stuart Broad were just a dangerous duo for the English. Another dot ball for Ferguson here, though. Safari has yet to go for a official run. He has had the leg by off of his over. Currently doing very nicely. One off 5 and 1 off 5 for Mulder and Esterhuizen. A slow start here. I'm trying to cut it away. Why do we have to listen to 2 female commentators while watching male sports? Because they are commentators. They're both cricketers, I believe, as well. So, you know, just because they played female version of cricket doesn't mean they haven't played cricket. I'll come back later when it's nearly finished. He's bad to the bone. And was there a Stevenson bowling for New Zealand at one time, says Ruth? Stevenson. How long ago are we going, Ruth? That's down the leg side from Ferguson. It's going to be just a single. Okay, they've just said maiden hunting, and it is actually technically a Ferguson maiden, as he went for 2 lead buys, and that is it off the over. South Africa after the 2. 5 for none. Also, female equals bad. You guys need to get a grip. Says JP. And also, we have got there when has Mel Gibson ever been sweet, says Fleshin. Every Tuesday. Piston Fun Fake. Currently 1 off 7 for Mulder. He stays in his 1 off 5. We've seen the 3 extras so far for the New Zealanders. As when you listen, Break Radio Dial, says NZ Riot. Well, this is where you listen. Someone tell them to hit the balls a bit more. Oh, that one was close. And that one's actually really hurt, I believe. That's hit him just above the knee roll. And Mulder is limping here. There wasn't 2 male commentators during the girls' game, just saying, says CPB. Well, they probably had different commentators hired, didn't they? Like, I feel like you're probably thinking it's some sort of, like, thing that they're trying to push or something, but it's literally just the New Zealand commentary team does have quite a few female commentators in there at the moment. Katie Martin's there. The one with the dreads, whose name I've forgotten, unfortunately. I think there's a third one too. What's up, Hamish? I'm joining late. Can you give me a short summary why Black Cats only scored 170? I expected them to score 250. Well, you certainly weren't going to get that. 170 turned out to be a pretty decent total. That's a strike of the ball and a half for Mulder. And that will go all the way for 6. That's actually cleared the ground. Someone's going to hit it with their car. And 15 to 20 years, Hamish. And that is brilliantly done. 11 for none here. Jameson, he had such a strong over. That one's been hit 97 metres for Mulder. So he went from getting whacked in the leg to whacking the ball out of the ground. Be careful, there are cars out there. You know, I don't think they're going to get that one back anytime soon unless someone's willing to get out of the ground to go try and find it. I think this will be a tight game. He's bad to the bone. Yeah, a couple more big shots, couple wickets along the way. I'm hoping we go down to the wire. It would be much better than that first one just to get to see the full potential of the South African lineup, as well as, you know, New Zealand bowlers. I think they need to have a game where they have a chaseable or like a defendable total, showing emotion in the movie. Still only pretending. See? That is the first boundary for the South Africans. So a way to bring it up in style. Taking it all the way for the 6. Ball has now come back to Kyle Jameson. He analyses it. That might be the same, or is it it might be a different ball, in fact. Unless it will have a little bit of road rash. He's tried to swing across the line there. Black Cats can't defend this. Will you see some changes in the third T20? Well, they already made 2 changes in this one. So we might see 1 or 2 more made in the third as well. And we have there Katie Martin that was talking politics during a T20 in Wellington. So I haven't liked her after that, says Jordan. Wicket coming next, says Ruth. But Mulder now. 7 runs off 10 deliveries. One of his only scoring shots has been a 6, although that one's worked off the pads. Should be at least 1. They'll get back for the comfortable 2. And now moves to 9 off the 11 balls. Almost back to that 100 strike rate. Show there, that's Nathan Smith running the drinks for the Black Caps. We have good there, but I reckon they should have strictly male commentators and refs for male sports and females for the women. So why does the referee have to be, or in fact, you could ask the same about the commentators, but we'll start with the referee. Why does the referee have to be a male? Or like for that ball didn't bounce much. Like if a female referee is qualified and does a good job, why can't she do a male rugby match? The referees aren't involved in the contact, so they don't have to worry about them getting knocked over, even though when the referees do get knocked over, most of them get back up anyway. So why can't the best person for the job be the one doing the job? Why is your dad not present? I really enjoyed his commentary in the first T20. He has got some jib dust in his eye. So he's probably sitting in the lounge watching this game like this. One eye closed. Yeah, like they all hyping up Holly Davison. Oh, that was close. That one's going to be 4 runs, though, to close out the Jameson over off the inside edge. Going to make the score now 15 off Jameson's bowling, 17 on the board for the South Africans and no wickets falling after the 3 overs. A few men in that South African dugout who have not experienced facing the Black Caps as of yet. Only got to see the pretty much top 5 bat in the last outing. Or actually, top 6, was it? Only losing the 3 wickets along the way. Esterhuizen hasn't had too much of the strike thus far. He's had 1 run off 5 deliveries. Lockie Ferguson, he has a unofficial maiden, which I think still counts as a maiden for him. He had 2 leg byes off his over. Oh, giving himself a bit of room there, Esterhuizen, to try and hit it through the offside. I really think Jameson is a test kind of bowler. He should concentrate on test, only like Mitchell Starc. What do you think? I don't know. I feel like short format's not too bad for Jameson either. It's just he goes in and out of form pretty quickly. But then Mitchell Starc also doesn't really just focus on, like he may focus on just test now. Don't let a fit woman that knows the rules of the game intimidate you, says Ruby. So would this be considered a B or C Black Caps team? You'd probably say a B Black Caps. I've still got a few of the guys in there who were in that World Cup squad. Got a few experienced heads out there too. Yes, fair. Enough politics and sports should not mix, says Bad to the Bone. Holly Davison cheated during an All Blacks match. She said on-field decision try, and the TMO said no clear evidence. Then she looked at the replay and changed her mind. So that sounds like she saw something that was a mistake she made and corrected it. How's that cheating? That's just literally, like, that's what any referee would have done. I think this will be too easy for South Africa, but I hope I'm wrong, says NZ Riot. Now Ferguson pitching it up. Oh, beautiful shot down the ground. Straight back over the bowler's head for 6. That is a classy strike from Esterhuizen to bring up his first boundary. In fact, him and Mulder both ended up getting 6s as their first boundary shots. It is probably the best shot of the day. I find female commentators really good and they have good knowledge. More countries should also include more women in commentary, says Coding. Is it too soon to underarm these buggers? Maybe a little bit. We're still only in the power play. Give it another maybe 10 or 15 overs before they start doing that side of things. Though nowadays you don't get any reward for it. You know, they got rid of that when Australia tried it out. Ferguson, how does he answer back? First scoring shot of him too. Pitched up. Oh, what a Yorker that is. That is hit right into the toe of the Proteas opener. Saying there a little bit of swing too. Timo had more angles, so why did she change her mind without talking to anyone else? Because she saw the replay and saw that she made a mistake, which was the right call in the end. She did correct the wrong. So, once again, I don't know what the problem is. Okay, so you haven't seen a male ref make any bad calls? Not that he'd call out, unless it's against Siali Lawakai. Just seems right. You never see females commenting in any other male sports much. When we see it in the sevens, you see a lot of Ricky Swannell, who's regarded as one of the better commentators out of New Zealand when it comes to rugby. She does the sevens, whether that's the women or the men. And golf, they have a female commentator in the mix normally. I don't really watch a huge amount of other sports. I think normally a female commentator involved in some of the football ones in terms of the substitutions as a sideline commentator and giving the updates there. I see that's where you start pushing something. This is Jordan. These South African players really good due to South Africa T20 League. Oh, it down the ground. It was half a chance for Ferguson. It will count as a drop to close out his over. South Africa 24 for none. She saw one replay and the TMO saw like 7. So the fact that she got the right call, are you saying that the TMO was the incompetent one? So we can deduce that Wayne Barnes is a woman, says Ruby. It's hit back down towards Ferguson. Got the whole hand to it too. He'll be frustrated about that one. Massive IPL investments definitely helped the South African League, says JP. Yeah, because all the teams are based off the IPL teams, right? Right, Ben Sears into the attack. So, yeah, it must be Zach Folkes who isn't a part of the team because everyone else is bowled and everyone else is batted. This is also a player who can get it down there at a decent speed. 2 more overs remaining of the power play. 52 more needed for the South Africans. I would say anything over 40 would be pretty handy for the power play. Maybe even over 40. Eight runs off these 2 overs would sit them not too badly. Does Ben Sears eat pears? Maybe. I haven't asked him. Hopefully someone has a sign at the cricket and they can ask him that way. I didn't mean to open a wound about female commentators. I just find they talk too much. Yeah, it certainly hit some people in the fields, didn't it, CPB? We have got there, I'm seeing Indian IPL owners owning teams in New Zealand, also like Mumbai Indians Christchurch, like this. Says coding. I mean, if that's where the money has to come from, like, yeah, it'll be interesting because, of course, I want to make it that it's a competitive salary so that players want to stay in New Zealand to play. You can see his first ball of his spell was a dot. That's a very short ball. Getting the hand to it there for Latham. It will mean it's just 2 wides rather than 5. He's trying the short ball, but it was far too short. We have good there. I've never seen a male ref change his mind after being told to stick with the on-field decision because of no evidence to overturn it, says Jordan. You remember this incident, Hamish, and how can you say she got it right? Well, it got turned out to be the right call. Now, you can argue it till the cows come home about whether or not, and it just depends on who you go for, and obviously if you like females, which we've learnt you do not, Jordan, not in sports anyway, but that one's going to be knocked away. The man at deep third. The foot touched the boundary rope, but that was while he was not in contact with the ball. South Africa get through for 2. Jordan, tread carefully. You're just being misogynistic at this point, says JP. Yeah, Jordan's not quite behaving, is he? That was a big diving effort from Tim Robinson. It was far away from him, so I wasn't going to quite get it. It's far from a B side, more like a D side. Only 2 or 3 players. They were in the World Cup final here, says bad to the bone. So what would you call South Africa's team then? In that case, would you call them like an F side? Because if having a few World Cup players make you a D side, then South Africa have got like a G side here because they've had hardly any experience at international level. Only Maharaj was there for the World Cup. Commentators are supposed to talk too much. It's unnatural to talk too much or that much for so long. That's why they take turns commentating in Test cricket. So it's going to be thrown in. Oh, big steep bounce over the head of Latham. Luckily, backing up was in play for the Black Caps. Have you ever thought about getting an AI robot as a friend? You can start with a blow-up doll if you need to save up first. Can we buy a wicket at this point? How do you think they're going to get it, CPB? Do you think it's going to be... You think it's going to be Ben Sears, or do you think they've got to go in a different direction? Maybe try spin after the power play, get Satner in. He was very economical in the last outing. That one's in the air. Oh, they've got a wicket. Straight into the hands of Robinson. I'm not sure whether or not you were halfway through writing yes, that it would be Sears, but that is the first wicket there. And a bit of a gift for the Kiwis, trying to go aerial with it. There was the man out there. And just straight to Robinson. Wanted to make sure he didn't put that one down. That is Connor Esterhazen. It's going to be dismissed. 8 runs off 12. The Black Caps now have South Africa 29 for 1. There we go. We'll add that one. And run out. CCP catch as well. Corrected just after. There we have it there. Hamish, what is your favourite form of cricket? I'm old school. I like Test, then ODI, then T20. I really don't like T20 too much. See, I'm Test match, then probably T20, and then ODI, just because of the fact I like the fact for T20 that it can be done and dusted in about 3.5 hours. I know commentators curse on the Kiwi lads. Says Clint D. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, literally the same ball as we were halfway through saying it. And now DeSortesy makes his way out there in T20 Internationals. He's had 4 matches, 42 runs, and his best was actually 33. So that tells you that from his other innings, he's only had 9 runs. ODIs and Tests are way better than the Bads Ball Hit and Giggles T20s. Says bad to the bone. Although T20s also do have their place. You know, they've been the reason a lot of people have gotten into cricket that sometimes don't quite have the the feeling that they want to sit there watching 5 days. Now, you got to really like your cricket to like a test. But if you do, it's a lot of fun. They have T10 in Dubai, which is ridiculous. There's the Sporting Kiwi. You see, the 100's relatively quick too, isn't it? But that's 100 balls. That's about, 18-ish overs, 18.2 overs or something like that. So that's not too bad. But T10's pretty much you just go out there and you just swing, don't you? Test match would be a long one, says Viral Shorts. And to Sawsey. And T20 isn't real cricket, I feel, says Clint D. Yeah, although it is, it has its place in some regards, It gets the players some brilliant, life-changing money. It's the franchise side of cricket that you see a lot more of. You see new people watching for the T20 stream for 5 days. Brother, we've done test matches before where we've done every single session way back in the day. And it's the end of the over, 16 off 16 at the moment for Mulder. The Sawsey yet to get off the mark. It's good for the sport, says JP. What form of cricket you play when you go outside to play? So we play half the season T20, half the season as one-dayers, but one-dayers are 40 overs each for us. So my team's made it to the semi-final of the 40-over comp. We just narrowly snuck in as 4th qualifier, and that's happening this weekend. Not much difference then, but far from a B side. Says bad to the bone, and test match cricket is just relaxing to me. Sit down and eat some crumpets and drink some hot chocolate, says Supporting Kiwi. You can always spot supporters. They got tickets for all 5 days of the test match. They get cooked to perfection. I prefer T20 as well. T50s are good. New Zealand got very good at them over the course of time, says NZ Right. All pitched up from Satner. Power play has come to a close, and they did go far from that 40 that I was saying would have been a nice total to reach. Are you opener or play a middle order? It's kind of changed depending on where they need me. I have opened certain matches. I've played as a 3, as a 4, as a 5, even as low as 6. South Africa Test cricket matches have been insane for years now. Sit down the ground, no run taken. T20, I like rugby sevens. Not a real thing, says bad to the bone. Yeah, a lot more money in T20 than there is in rugby sevens. Which is why they keep on changing in a World Rugby. Try and ruin the 7th circuit. Satner 2 dot balls to start his spell, stepping across the stumps. I can't believe that's missed. He's advanced down the wicket there. I think Satner's saying the same thing of how has that not gone on to hit the stumps of Mulder. He advances, he tries to hit it, and just pops straight over the top of the wickets. It's actually a very similar ball to what bowled Satner in the first innings, except Satner's didn't quite bounce as much. Dragged down, it's in the air, and another wicket. Mulder goes. And now 2 new batsmen at the crease for the Proteas. That catch was taken by Devon Conway. He's normally a little bit 50-50 when it comes to the catching department, but he has taken a very crucial one there as now both openers are gone. Go like that. There we go. Brendan McCullum originally started quite down far in the order before becoming an opener. And Hamish, when was last time you ate KFC? It's been a few weeks, I think. Can't think of it. Been at least a week. And here we go, punters. Says CP. Now here comes Herman to the middle. South Africa, just like that, have become $6 underdogs there. I trying to ruin sevens. It's in a live support, and that's failing, says Fleshin. And also, here we go, punter, says CP. Told you, says Jordan. I told you spin can go good on Hamilton. Okay. I will not say what I was thinking. 147 more runs needed from 86 balls. Ruben Herman. And his T20 International career, he's got 160 runs. His best is 63. Normally strikes it quite nicely. 131 strike rate. Plus in cricket, there's like a World Cup every year. It's overkill. T20s for both men and women every 2 years. He's bad to the bone. More comes to cricket in New Zealand. Can it replace rugby as number 1 sport? I think rugby's already been replaced for number 1 sport. Oh, pitched up from Satner. They'll take a run. And just the single. No, will never replace rugby, says Jordan. Never has, never will. I think rugby, what are the numbers here at the moment? Most popular sport in New Zealand. Oh no, rugby union is still regarded as the most popular, even though football has really caught up with it. And also basketball is getting up there in recent times. Massive weakness of T20, though, is the coin toss. There is Joe in the second innings, giving the team batting second the advantage. Says NZ right. And that is one slightly, I guess, annoying thing about the matches taking place so late at night is the dew factor. I know that for the T20 final, they did spray a whole heap of stuff on the outfield so that it wouldn't get so slippery. I'd like to see Seven played at smaller venues. The big stadiums is not a good look. Yeah, but they've done it to themselves, haven't they? Because, you know, you kick a side like Kenya, Samoa, all those teams off of the circuit, you're going to draw less crowds. Like some of those Kenyan fans were just always there, no matter where it was played in the world. And what dew are you talking about? Is it Mountain Dew? Not quite, no. Right, Cole McConkey comes in, so they've decided to once again, similar to the last test match, last T20, have Satna one end, McConkey at the other. It's best of 3 for 15. Dew is a massive factor in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, and not in other countries. It's a bit of a factor in New Zealand too. That's a top edge, straight to the man at fine leg. And De Souza is on his way. South Africa are now 3 down. It's a pretty poor shot choice from De Souza. He actually reminded me of Latham's dismissal, the reverse sweep in the first innings when there was a guy waiting for it. 1-4 for De Souza. Proteas, they will have to go into rebuild mode now. I would have thought UFC MMA would have been taken over there. Maybe to watch, not so much to do, I don't think. In terms of participation, I'll be interested in participation numbers. NZ Sport, is there like some sort of thing? Participation statistics. Do we get some sort of number? Oh no, this is just like actual like going for a walk and whatnot. Participation. Right, here we go. Where did it go? I had it here. Major sports. There was like a graph somewhere. Participation. Here we go. So, based off the school year, school sport, netball was the highest, then volleyball, then basketball, then rugby union, then football as the top 5 for school or aged like students. Sevens is losing millions every year. Not to play in New Zealand makes no sense, says CPB. This guy gets given too many chances, says JP. Advancing down the wicket. Hits it for 1. And Smith now gets off the mark. That's why I think McConkey should have played in the final. I see you taking wicket on the first ball. Yeah, but that was more De Souza's wicket than McConkey's. McConkey just bowled it straight. And De Souza played the wrong shot. Have you played cricket 07? I don't think I played 07. I played 04. And then also like the newer ones. Where you from? Says bad to the bone. And rugby will always be number 1 in New Zealand. As in like where in the country am I from? Or how have you been? Says Hannah. I've been doing all right. It's looking like it's going to be a closer game now between these two sides. Compared to the first one. Volleyball, no way, stop joking, bro. Says Jordan, that's what it said in terms of like participation in schools for 2024. Total people taking part in volleyball was 27,394. Now, obviously, that might have been more so due to curricular activities. But yeah, sports participation amongst secondary school students. I assume that that's changed a bit though. It gets easier to bat as the ball gets older though, and the dew increases. Trying to go for that sweep shot there off the knee for Smith. Doesn't time it. And in fact, that's Hirman on strike now. Do you have a VR headset and play games in it? No. No, I think that's something that one day we might go for. That's hit in the air. No one back there. Conkey didn't have a man at deep square leg. Although rugby is only 5th in participation, but participation doesn't mean popularity. That's true. I feel like there is a big difference, isn't there, between like being like taking part in it and actually going to watch a game. Thank you for this commentary. Says Mazi, no worries at all. Oh, it is actually Mazi Buko. And there. Boundary. Second ball. Second last ball, I should say. There was a very poor power play for South Africa. Yeah, it wasn't ideal. 3 wickets, or 2 wickets, in fact, would have fallen during it, and only around that 31 runs. And it's the end of the 7th over, 38 for 3. Herman sitting 2 off 2. Easy win for New Zealand, says bad to the bone. So, early series predictions. What are we thinking? Of course, it has to be something, and then, of course, of at least the one for South Africa. So anyone who's saying clean sweep would only be the case if South Africa were able to get the job done. Running from the Popo is the most participated sport in New Zealand, says CPB. Yeah, that's gone up as well in terms of numbers. Mulder at the moment. Oh, no, I think they're trying to say it's gone down, actually, so I don't know. 1 wicket for Satna, Sears and McConkey. None of them have been drastically expensive. Satna now continuing his bowling. Another sweep shot there from Smith. Hits it for 1. Volleypalooza in Miami. Will change your mind about volleyball, Jordan. Volleypalooza. I feel like I'm going to have to look that up now. I can pronounce my surname perfectly. So here's Mazibuko there. Yeah, do let me know. Who do you think will win the series we'll go with instead? 5 matches. Hopefully all will take place. Golf, cricket, basketball, soccer are ahead of rugby in participation. Even netball is level, says bad to the bone. Now Hirman, the left-hander. Satna trying to spin it back into him. One's going to be a single. I think it will be 4-1 now. What do you think? 4-1, I don't know. I feel like South Africa's bowling attack, with the exception of a couple little mistakes, is strong enough to get a win in another one. And maybe that's just because of the fact that I'm hoping to go to the last match and I want it to be 2-2 just to see it be the decider. That would be fantastic. I like New Zealand's position now. It's much better than I suspected from New Zealand. Randy and Coke is our favourite sport. Get your facts straight, Jordan. Says Ruby. Now Hirman back on strike. I keep on getting called away for work, says Clint D. Yeah, I guess it is during the working week, isn't it? It's currently, nice drive, 10:37 a.m. in South Africa. The dot ball from Satna. He's normally known as a very economical bowler. Sometimes doesn't take a huge amount of wickets, but just bowls efficiently. Doesn't look to get hit away too often. Drag down. Hit to the leg side. That is perfectly timed from Herman, and that will make it to the boundary. More pressure on Satna now. He's gone for 7 runs off this over. You see it here, just dragging it down a little bit. Ended up bouncing nicely in terms of the seam presentation. Now I'm not sure if we make 100. Is that from being bowled out, or is that from like facing the 20 overs? Because I'd like to think if they don't get bowled out, minimum here we could see, I want to say 130 for the South Africans. Oh, it's a big shot. There's 6 more off the end of the Satna over. Ever since I said he's quite an economical bowler, he goes for 10 runs off 2 balls. And that's going to make the score now 51 for 3 off the 8 overs. Our league is arguably our biggest sport yet. Way down the bottom in participation, says bad to the bone. And Satna is basically our current Daniel Vittori. Vittori was a genius, says Clint D. 13 runs off the Mitch Satna over. I actually think this could be kind of close. I think ball is also getting wet, says Coding. So yeah, we'll make it a little bit more difficult for the New Zealand spinners. And actually just the New Zealand bowlers in general. This current partnership is 20 off 11. It would be enough, theoretically, if they continued at this strike rate, for them to finish off this match. But a lot can change. Wickets can happen. In the end, 1 second, we'll go like that. There we go. 51 runs on the board. Slower ball from Sears. It was well picked by Smith. Just taps it for the single. South Africa seems to be bowling better in our conditions than us. Says CPB. Told you we won't win. It's a bit early, is it not, Haino, to think that they're completely done and dusted? Like, they've lost 3 wickets, but they got these two are putting together start of a partnership. The odds have changed a little bit too. They were more of an underdog, South Africa, before those last 2 boundaries. Ben Sears now. Saw 48 dot balls while South Africa were in their bowling innings. Another wicket would help? Absolutely. If they can get Herman out, because he seems like he's got plenty of power, they can get rid of him. They have a good chance. Leg side, he's hit it down the ground. Doesn't time it, so it bounces a couple times before getting to the man at wide on. What was New Zealand at this time of the year innings? I'll have a quick check and let you know. I know that they lost less wickets at this stage. But New Zealand, we'll go after 9 overs. New Zealand were 68 for 2. After 8 overs, they were 59 for 2. So currently South Africa are behind by around 15 at the end of this over. But they do have 1 more wicket down too. Quick single taken by the South Africans. Player falls over in the running. Does Ben Sears shed tears when chopping onions? Jason Smith will go out soon, and then it'll be downhill from here. All rests on Herman. Your headphones are light or heavy because if you put them on for too long, creates pressure on the head. What's your experience? They're relatively light, like they're not, like they've squashed me ears in. And I always have like the mark on the top of my head as well, but they're all right. Like they're much more lightweight. I don't like the ones that you fully like go over the ears, not for doing the commentary anyway. I still like to hear roughly what's going on, which is why I always have an ear out. We've got there, it's nearly halfway, and South Africa only have 51 runs. So it's not just the wicket, Sears bad to the bone. Now, that was an interesting looking shot. Wearing glasses gives me a headache, says the Sporting Kiwi. You see, I try and avoid wearing like glasses, even though I do actually probably need them. Run rate required, nearly 11 per over. Says bad to the bone. Though Herman's got some power. I don't think we should completely write this Proteas side off as of yet. We saw what New Zealand did in their final over. But pretty much after 10 overs, New Zealand were 81 for 2. Which would require South Africa to have a big over soon. Another short, slow delivery from Sears. An economical over this far. Currently just the 4 runs off at run rate. I know I read that one, didn't I? So it's not a runaway then. I'm in the this can still be close comp or camp. Could be close, says Viral. Jason Smith is also a dangerous batter. He can hit a long ball. Yeah, and there's no need to panic here for South Africa. Like, it's very easy to go, it's almost at 12, but the amount of power that some of these modern T20 batsmen have. Oh, that's a loud call, a no. It would have been an extremely tight over too. Brilliant over from Sears. 4 runs off it. South Africa 55 for 3. Can Ben bowl with searing pace? He can, but he's actually opted for the slower balls. Now, that was something that South Africa did very well throughout their bowling innings. It was the cutters that were getting the wickets. South Africa need more singles. Sears bad to the bone. The comparison at the moment between New Zealand and South Africa. At this stage of New Zealand's innings, they were 13 runs ahead and had lost 1 less wicket. They did end up losing the wicket just after the drinks break, though. They did lose 4 wickets throughout their last 10 overs, New Zealand as well. That was down to trying to push the tempo a little bit. What's the score so far at the moment? South Africa are 55 for 3 off 9 overs. They do require 121 off 66 balls at 11 runs per over. Well, at least the batsmen are pacing themselves somewhat. Get yourself and then unleash. Right, Jimmy Neesham. Some people would say that this man is very much a 50-50 bowler. He either has a very good one or a pretty expensive one. Advancing down the wicket, head off the back foot, beautifully fielded there. And it does turn it into a dot ball, which easily could have been a 4. A good dive there from Kelly. What do you think of Conway batting? He played ODI innings in T20. He was a little bit slow getting going, but at the same time, he kind of anchored the innings. And I feel like that was quite crucial for New Zealand when they were bowled out for 91 in their first T20. You don't want to have yourself lose your openers early and then, end up in a situation of getting bowled out again. Pitched up, hit to the leg side. Does he get enough? No, not quite. But it does bounce over the rope. And that will be 4 runs. Here he goes. Says Jordan. A nice shot from Herman to move up to 19. Nishima is often expensive, but sometimes he gets wickets. He's going to go for lots. And what's up? Says Big Rig. Good morning, Hamish and the gang. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. New Zealand setting the total of 175. South Africa now 3 down. Trying to chase this one down at a required run rate of about 11 and over. It's Kyles Mills in the team. He is not, but he did play in the Black Clash recently between Team Rugby and Team Cricket. That one's aerial as well from South Africa, and it is caught. Herman picks the wrong ball to go after. And caught in the deep, Nisham gets his man. I still want to know what type of batting Jordan Herman does. He's an opening batsman, but sadly we didn't get to see him due to his injury. I don't think I've ever seen that man bat. But 19 off 12 for Herman. He will be on his way. That is the 4th wicket down now for the Proteas. A morning, Big Rig. I think it's a smash day, says Jordan, just as he gets the wicket. And I hardly see anyone wear sunglasses these days. They seem to have gone out of fashion. I see a lot of people wearing sunglasses while driving. But in terms of, in general, I guess it depends. In the summer, you see it quite a bit, or at least down here you do. But I think it just depends on the person. Maharaj Adamit to bowl last over, says Xander. Yeah, I think that cost them an extra 15 or maybe 10 runs for the South Africans. But Herman is out. Forster comes in. Bad ball wicket. Bad balls get wickets. That's pretty much a quote from cricket right from the start of time. Doesn't always have to be the best ball, but the batsman sometimes pick the wrong one to go after. And to be fair, it was a hard length to try and hit aerial. So I think that was probably where the biggest mistake was made by the Proteas player. Herman just deciding he wanted to try and go up with it rather than down. It seems like they are just taking the Powerade drinks break, seeing as they're only 3 balls before. I bowl with my worst ball ever. I get wickets, says Ano. Yeah, I've had a few absolute terrible deliveries. I had one for a spinner that, I almost was bouncing the second time by the time it got there and bowled the person. I've had ones that have been dragged down, wide deliveries that just look awful, yet they try and swing at them and get caught. Bad balls get wickets. And you can bowl a perfect Yorker and get ramped for 6. So sometimes cricket is not too fair, but that's the fun part. Just enough craziness happens that just drives you mad, but you love it. How's South Africa doing? New Zealand getting wickets. So New Zealand have got them 4 down at the moment. Just showing the wickets that have happened. We saw the Ben Sears caught. In fact, for South Africa, I believe, all 4 wickets have been caught. And you could argue that none of them have actually been good shots. All of them have been mishits where they've gone straight to the fielder. A ball that almost bounced twice. By the time bounced in the crease, says Hano. Yeah, it's one of those double bounces. As long as it's not quite a double bounce, if you keep it nice and low and skid it on, very hard to work out what to do with it. Or hits it nicely, cut shot through the gap, but it will just be the single, whereas Ferguson he is playing. But they haven't brought him back just yet. Johnny Bairstow took Maharaj for 34 runs. Afghanistan almost smashed 4 sixes in that super over. And here again, 20 plus runs in the final over today. Hamish, shed some light on why, please. I guess he's the captain, isn't he? So in this case, he probably gets to bowl it. But he can bowl what's considered as a hit-me length. Sometimes he'll get wickets for it. Sometimes he will get smacked. But there's always that chance that he gets there. Same as the semi-final. Hit to the leg side. Might be 2. Big caller no, though. Do you like mangoes? I do, but it's hard to get a good mango over here. I haven't had a good mango in a long time. We could just do a bunch of spin right now and push that needed run rate up, says Jordan, although I think they're slightly leaving the spin for a bit later. Satner's already bowled a couple. So I think they're just trying to get through these middle overs and save the spin for just a little bit later on when they need that slightly more economical option. Although Satner did go for 13 of his last spinning over. Oh, that was close to a chance. Does go past backward point for 4. Won't probably bring him back, even though he got a maiden, says Jordan. Well, his next over, he got hit for 6, didn't he? So they might just be waiting. Oh, that was almost a chance for the Black Caps. Nation frustrated there. I don't know a lot about Forster. Hopefully he can hit a 10 ball 50 today. If you had someone, Doobie, that would be the guy to go out there and just absolutely smash it out the park. I see the South Africa a lot. When they bat first, they play freely. But if they are chasing, they really choke. But it's a tricky one because it's never been such a criticised thing when it comes to the toss in cricket. Nowadays, if you win a game, people go, "Oh, it's because you won the toss." You lose a game, they go, "Oh, it's because you chose the wrong option." Sometimes, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose that toss. Sometimes you just don't play as well as your opposition. No toss even taken into consideration. But for South Africa here, they were able to chase down the total in the first one. So I feel like that's why they backed themselves to go second here, plus of that dewy ball. 11.1 runs per over. That run rate is climbing, says Bad to the Bone. Yeah, although it's been floating about that 11.2, hasn't it? For the past 2 or 3 overs. I love the series code 22, says Kyle. Lucky it didn't go over the needed run rate. Is it true that Henry Pollock has been stood down? Not that I know of. But if he has, I'd assume that's because everyone's been complaining about him. 109 needed off 58 balls. You also got to be very careful with Henry Pollock because there are a huge amount of fake stories about him. Like about 90% of the stuff you actually read about him isn't true, and it's just people using it for clicks because they know that people will fall for it and will then hate him for that same reason. Satner played late there for Smith. So another 109 runs needed. This is now, I would say, the highest the required run rate has actually crept to. Saw it on Facebook, searched it up and found a Google thing, but I don't know where. They should make the toss like the lotto, 2 balls flying around. That come out on either side, decision made, says Ruby. Maybe Bucky Esbotha can come on as the enforcer. As the enforcer. Oh, another aerial one. And throwing the wicket away there, Smith. It's now 5 times that South Africa have been caught, and none of them have been particularly challenging for this New Zealand fielding effort. Sweep shots have not been the way to go today. I'm just thinking through. Latham went out to a reverse sweep. De Soursey, as well as now Smith, were dismissed to sweeps. Is it happening for the first time where women and men are playing in the same day on the same pitch? They did it last week too, or the last matchup. So I don't think it is. They normally have double headers. I just wait for the stories after he plays South Africa. Yeah. The biggest problem is though, if he does well, I don't know what's going to happen. It would actually be the carnage in the rugby world as we know it. If he plays badly, then it's probably going to be the same thing. There's actually no good result other than him, sounds terrible to say, but him not getting to play in a game, whether that's due to having a suspension or being injured, because it's just not going to be a fun place in the rugby world for 2 weeks, if not the whole year. I'm glad we are losing. We want a close series, not a whitewash. Last game should be the decider. I'm in agreement because I am going to that last game more than likely. So hopefully we do get to see that be the one that does decide it. Yeah, just trying to sweep that one. And I hope Pollock is banned. I hate him. Says Highlanders fan. I will Hamish New Zealand back in business. And Henry Pollock keep going, do it. It could be a whitewash of sorts tonight, says Bad to the Bone. Well, it would be quite the statement for New Zealand to come back out and get the Proteas all out here. Satner, though, economical as always. Quick single taken by the Proteas. They thought about the extra. And also, this is getting out of range for South Africa. Yeah, required run rate is now up to 11.8. What is your ticket price for which you are going to see? I actually got it discounted. So I think it was like, for the double header, the women's game and the men's T20, I think it cost us $17 per person. And then I think we got it even cheaper as well because we did like a discount or like a bundle thing. So it worked out to be maybe like $15 to go to 2 T20s, which is, I mean, you can't get much better than that. Remember the really bizarre draw England and New Zealand had a few years ago where England scored like 3 tries within 7 minutes after losing all game? Says Big Rig. Yeah, we would have covered that one on the channel, I'd say. 69 for 5 though for South Africa after the 11 overs. You got grass embankment tickets? Or are you going to the suites with an open bar and food buffet? Nah, pretty much general admission is about the main thing that they offer at Hagley Oval, so that's all you really need. Conway 60 is looking important, says NZ Riot. Yeah, he had a bit of criticism for scoring slow, but he scored like those crucial runs that just got New Zealand towards the slightly stronger total. Seems like we might see that Highlanders 10. Played Seven's debut this week. Says Highlanders fan. That Andrew Newstop, is that who they've got now? McConkey into the bowling. A run taken again. There's always an ice cream shop at Christchurch Ground. I've seen it on TV. Is there? I went to the test matches a little while ago and I did not see an ice cream shop. That one's going to be another single. They have one that does really good slushies though. That's quite good. See how Africa says Bad to the Bone. Has Newstub been good? He was decent in 7s. Game has swung the other way this time, says Ruth. And New Zealand are just trying to keep that pressure on, get that run rate towards 13, 14 and over. Because we are getting closer and closer to the end of the innings, then it just continues to creep up. Just imagine you go to the cricket suites and it's limited caramel magnums. That would be dangerous. Oh, it's in the air. And what a shot. Linda's just hit it for 6 down the ground, ladies and gentlemen. And it didn't even look like he tried. He just kind of went, and it just smacked all the way for 6. New stuff is 30. You don't often see playing first game. Oh, no, he wound up a little bit, but he definitely middled it. 76 metres down the ground. It was almost a big diving effort from the Kiwi on the boundary rope. But McConkey's looking at the batsman as if to say, how have you done that? And Miller, the big lock is out for us. Yeah, Thomas Lavanen, he's out. Reverse sweep. And that's 4 more runs for Lindia. In the the middle order, I should say, starting to fire. We're going to see it now, South Africa, the run rate. Even with a 6, it did actually end up only dropping down to 11.8 required, but another 4 runs here. That's actually a catching chance for New Zealand. That one's gone through the hands. Nobody talks about it in the breakdown. Martin Devlin didn't, says Jordan. I wanted to teach them a lesson for this time, says Bad to the Bone. Nicely cut away. No run taken though. Currently 11.5 still the required run rate, although with that dot ball from McConkey, will go up. Linda is the perfect batter. He has got the power. Yeah, that shot down the ground thoroughly impressed me. The way he just whipped through the line and just gave it a bit of a smack. Drag down. Oh, that's cracked. That's hard. And that is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Biggest 6 of the day it's got to be. Although we did see one earlier on, didn't we? About 90-something metres. And get him off. No more McConkey. You wanted spin, though. We have there. Linda is powerful. I can see him replacing Maharaj in the main side. Also, Donovan Ferreira can bowl spin and bat. That is going to be a great over for the Proteas. Total of 17 off it. Good morning, Hamish, says Philip. Welcome in. Hope you are doing extremely well. 87 to beat Sears Highlanders. And yes, I think you're right. Maybe 130 in total, says Clint D. Yeah, they've sped up a little bit with that over. It has certainly helped them in the right direction. Current run rate required is 11.3. They're all just filling the boots until next season when Jacob comes in. Right, Ben Sears back into the bowling attack. His economy at the moment is only 4.5. He's bowled a few slower deliveries. And that was almost another one. Nice drive out to deep cover for one. The mission plan, get the ball into the parking lot. Oh, misfield there. And they will sneak through for an extra there. An overthrow. That is pretty poor from the Black Caps. There's been a few awkward bounces just near the surface. But then I said actually say spin for later. Says Jordan, 85 metres. That seemed further than that. It might have just been the height on it. How's it, Ruby, says Philip. And send in the Satness, says NZ right. Yeah, they've still got a few more overs to get through here, New Zealand. Hard case, the opposite results for both the women and the men. That's our very good chase from here. Will you be surprised? Well, I'd be impressed. I don't think I'd be surprised per se, because once again, I have no idea what these batsmen do because we didn't get to see them in Test match number one, T20 number one. And also, I haven't watched a huge amount of these guys in action. So, yeah, surprised probably not, but impressed definitely. Ben Sears. Going to keep this one economical. Oh, a big swing there from Forrester. Not a lot of foot movement from that man. There's another dot ball. I'm not sure on my nails yet, I promise, says Ruby. See it there outside of off stump. Big slashing attempt at the ball. Quite make the contact with it. I still think the Highlanders should play Fakatava at 10 and start Lennox at 9. But 9's playing 10 doesn't happen in New Zealand anymore. Yeah, I think the last side that were doing it slightly often would have probably been the Hurricanes with TJ, wouldn't it? Oh, that's going to be called as a wide. Above the shoulder too, says the umpire. Latham. Okay, he said, Brownie, come on, man. That is referring to Chris Brown, the umpire. It was pretty short. And morning, Philip. South Africa Chase. Oh, no, I read that one. It is Seddon Park, the shortest stadium in New Zealand. I don't think we got any. No, Eden Park would be. Certain boundaries at Eden Park. Anyway, that one's gone very high into the night sky in Hamilton. Who's underneath the great catch in the deep there from Lockie Ferguson. And that is now going to be 6 down for the Proteas. That's a good wicket to get. Forrester now gone. Go like this. And that is going to be the second wicket for Ben Sears. Just waiting underneath the high ball. Ferguson had a lot of time to miss this one, but eventually goes straight down into the hands. It wasn't above the shoulder, never mind, says Jordan. And 88 from 46, still a sniff for South Africa. Yeah, although losing that wicket, of course, won't help. Now we get to see Gerald Kutsia. I haven't seen a huge amount of this man batting, but I also want to say that I've seen him hit sixes before. I can't remember what match it was in, but I believe he possesses power. I think Pukekura Park was the smallest. They don't do internationals there, although there was some Tom Cruise film there, says the Sporting Kiwi. And it was kind of above the shoulder, says Jordan. Also a good catch. The wicket's the problem, says Bad to the Bone. Yeah, just a few too many falling here for the Proteas. There's a risky shot too from Forrester. That is now, what is it? Now 6 wickets that have all been caught. And another one. Yeah, strike rate 132.5 here for Gerald Kutsia. Doesn't normally like to mess around. It's the type of strike rate he will require in this game. Very good catch from Lockie Ferguson, though. Yeah, you see the frustration for Forrester as he makes his way off. And another one, New Zealand wicket. Here's Ruth. But Ben Sears, he's been the danger man with the ball. Nice Yorker bowl. Kutsia goes over the top. The man at backward point. They'll get through for the 2. Even with another single here, a sharp over from Sears. That required run rate is back up to near the 12. South Africa sent an inexperienced side. So they all tall, strong men who can hit the ball a long way, says NZ Riot. Yeah, they've certainly got a nice mix in this squad in terms of, some very handy bowlers. And also, I do think there are a few handy batsmen scattered throughout the side. The top order haven't shown it to us just yet, although Muller got off to a good start. Kutsia goes bang, but he doesn't get enough. And another take in the deep. He's frustrated, Kutsia, but that is now 7. Sears takes his third. And New Zealand at the end of the 13th over, they have South Africa 91 for 7. But Kutsia, that was short and sweet. Actually looked like a decent swing at the ball too. That's the worst thing about it. He is going to be dismissed here. 2 off 2. They're on 91 at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, what we saw New Zealand bowled out for in the first. Ben Sears should have played at least one game in T20 World Cup. He's got pace. And GG well played, Kiwi, says Bruck. And also, well, 6 wickets down and 16-1 odds for South Africa now. That would be a zinger to get, says Ruby. And I'd assume it would have gone even further now. Maharaj, the captain, makes his way to the middle. Now, he's got deceptive power too, this man. But what do you do if you're Linda? You're sitting there at the non-strikers end. 17 runs off 5 balls. But now, do you continue to attack? Or do you have to do a little bit of rebuilding for your side? New Zealand on fire, says Big Rig. How much did New Zealand get in the first match exactly? They are almost identical, says Ruby. Yeah, currently South Africa are on the same runs that New Zealand got in the first T20. Now it's game over for South Africa, sadly. I see New Zealand winning by 40 runs, says Coding. Yeah, my original prediction was South Africa to get to around 130. I may have been a bit generous there, depending on if we see another wicket fall. If we see the back of Linda, I think this is game over. But Ferguson into the bowling attack. Pitched it up, work to the leg side for just the 1. And good one, New Zealand. Nice payback, says Vol. And yeah, it would make the series 1-1. Heading into the third match at Eden Park on the short boundaries Friday night. Now, we won't be doing that one on the channel due to the overlap with Super Rugby, but we'll be keeping you updated with what is happening throughout that contest at the same time. Yeah, Kutsia just picking out the fielder in the deep in that scenario. To now be yet again another wicket fallen. South Africa 7 times that they've been out caught in this one. So not quite what they would have been after, of course. Less catching opportunities for New Zealand, you would think, the better. Ferguson back into his work again. And it's another. It actually cut in and out, but they have got another wicket here, New Zealand. And that is going to be Maharaj gone. Right, we're going to see the replay. We didn't actually get to see this live. It said that it was down and just a little chip to the man at short cover. That is pretty poor. They might get bowled out for 91, ladies and gents. Oh, no, sorry, they have 92. They had the 1 extra. But it could still be under 100. And Maharaj, he is going to be going for a golden duck. We'll go like that. Similar to what we saw for India. The T20 World Cup final, their captain went for the golden duck. You will not be doing third T20. Is it true? That is true, yes, because it does overlap with Super Rugby. There are 2 matches of Super Rugby taking place at the same time as the third T20 International. So we're going to be missing it. Cakewalk says bad to the bone. McConnor now comes to the crease. I have never seen this man bat before in my life, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Yes, Ferguson, says Jordan. I wonder when the last time was that a side has been bowled out all caught. Betting on T20 games must be pretty hard. And great bowling, says Ruth. His best is 10 not out, average of 7.25. Ferguson just repositioning his field a little bit here. This one might not go the full 20 overs either here, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Linda sitting at the other end. Off the edge and a wicket there. Ferguson's on a hat trick. He was actually potentially the player who Ferguson was reshuffling. Might have been Neesham. And now Ferguson gets another. So I didn't actually get to see a lot of McCona batting, to be fair, because he went out on his very first delivery And now Ferguson with a chance to close this game out with a hat trick. It's off the outside edge. It's a well pitched up delivery. McKona's on his way. Oh, who says bad to the bone? South Africa collapse. Yeah, they might be bowled out for 92. And also in first T20, if New Zealand play their 4 overs and reach 150, then South Africa can't chase it. Says Coding. Yeah, McKona gone for the golden duck. And now Bartman makes his way to the middle to face a hat-trick delivery. This is so much better than the previous match, 2 previous matches, including the T20 Grand Final. We need Alan Donald now to end our misery, says Ruby. And there's a massacre, says Big Rig. Yeah, it's going to make it 1-1. Unless, of course, Linda can somehow get all of the strike for the remainder of this contest. It shows it can happen to the best of them, says Ruth. But now hat-trick ball. Chance here for Ferguson to make a little bit of history against the tail end of South Africa. Where does he put this ball? It's got to be on the stump, surely. Pitches it up, it hits the pad. New Zealand appealing. Ferguson knows it's down leg. And it is going to be not out. Can hat-trick happen? It could have, but now no. Ferguson just swaying it down a little bit too far leg side. They didn't bother reviewing it, which was fair enough. It was going to be missing by quite a bit. Now just showing the replay of the Ferguson wickets. The first one chipped to cover. The second one edge to slip. And then the third one attempted at the stumps. Goes down leg side. Pitches it up again. Well defended by Bartman. The mind at the moment for the South African team, it will just be back 20 overs. It's easier said than done. Linda might decide to just go out there and absolutely try and slog it this next over. Well, it took a very long time to come down. Go New Zealand. Ferguson game good, says Ruth. And nice. It's past my bedtime. But not by much, says NZ Riot. Yeah, we're going to get another game that might end early. Right, no run taken there. They could have taken the single, so that's a pretty negative mindset from this Proteas side, but they have pretty much decided the only way to win this is either let Linda absolutely smash it or avoid Bartman from having the strike. Ferguson, 2 wickets from the over, 1 run off it. Current partnership is 0 off 3, but now Linda has to just keep on going. He has a strike rate of 300. So theoretically, if he faced every single delivery for the remainder of this game and kept that same strike rate, they would win this game. Ferguson, final 2 overs, 48 runs. Now back to good performances, Coding. It just shows what pressure can do. And also, whoever you're bowling to, of course, can make a massive difference. That Indian side were phenomenal with the bat in hand. All right, Kyle Jamieson back in. He has not taken a wicket as of yet for New Zealand. For the 15 runs, 7.5 economy. Tapping the bat. Linda pitched up, that's 6. No one's going to be getting to that one. He has absolutely smashed it into the crowd. Is there still a slight chance here, ladies and gentlemen? Linda has to keep on going, though. He's 24 off 7. I know someone slightly joked about him coming in and getting 50 off 10. But 50 off 13 or something might not be a mile away if he keeps on striking it like this. Just does the full swing of the bat, straight back down over the bowler's head. Jamieson will probably go short now with this delivery. Yep, short ball. And it's outside of off stump, so wasn't able to get bat on it for Linda. Well answered. At least a good answer back there from Jamieson. Jamieson has been out of form. And Linda's basically an IRL anime scenario right now, says Big Rig. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, of course, New Zealand want Bartman on strike. He's sitting 0 off 3, and he is the number 11 batsman. But Linda has still shown that he has got more than enough capabilities of hitting a long ball. But every time he doesn't get bat on ball, that run rate increases. Bring back Doug Bracewell. Says the Sporting Kiwi. Big full pitched delivery, hit down the ground. Won't go to the boundary, so they will just get the single there. And Wazzy win this match. And watch them bowl Nisham next, says Jordan. Linda managed to chase this. This will be number 1 chase in T20 history, says Coding. And of course, this man at the striker's end now, Bartman, would have a lot to play in that chase. South Africa as well. I think it's all about trying to bring up that 100. Currently on 98 runs. Required run rate is still high. Sorry, 99 runs, I should say. 77 needed. 33 balls to get it. Now banged it short. Oh, that's hit him right in the box. That's not going to feel too nice for Bartman. In fact, he's going to need a couple of minutes to recover from that one. He's trying his best not to react, but that is the hardest thing to do. And that one has hit him flush where he didn't want to get hit. Oh, you know, that's about as square on as he could have felt. Jameson bowling at that length that just smacks straight into the box. And the thing that was the hardest for him was making sure that he stayed inside of his crease. Hope he's got a box in it. Didn't sound like a box though when it hit. Satner still has an over, hasn't he? Yes, they've still got Satner's got one. McConkey's got two if they did want to go back. Really bad from Linda giving single to Bartman. Yeah, but you also kind of do need to take the runs when they come. Because theoretically, you know, if Bartman had hit a single there off that ball, then it would have been all good. Satner never smiles. Doesn't he? I swear he's always smiling, even when he's batting. Even when they were losing up against India in the World Cup final, he was just smiling ear to ear. On the trip switch. And boom, wickets falling like dominoes, says Ruth. A little bit of practice batting here from the teammate. And Linda just visualising some shots while they try and recover Bartman. Bullseye, says Ruth. Yeah, he couldn't have hit him any more square if he tried. Willow Rourke bowls those all the time, but 147. No set that smiles every time when he loses all wins. Lot says NZ Riot. 77 needed from 32 balls. Required run rate has increased to 14.4. It's a hefty chase that would be on the cards here. The next one has taken place at Eden Park. And then from there we get to see the one in Wellington. And then they head further south into Christchurch, which hopefully, I've said it once, I'll say it again, 2-2 would be ideal. But more than likely, 3-1 could be realistic now that the Black Caps are starting to find their rhythm again. Good ball, I guess, says NZ Right. Yeah, it certainly caused a little bit of a stoppage here while they do try and sort him out. This is where Jameson can either be nice and bowl it not at him, or he can be a little bit of a menace and bowl the exact same ball again. If he does, I think it's going to take more than 5 minutes. Just made another female commentator for South Africa. Because then your wife's pregnant and you're having a South African child. Oh, did that hit him again? Or was it off the bat? They're appealing for it, New Zealand. No, I thought there was a whole thing about it. Because he wasn't smiling when Finn got the fastest ever T20 World Cup century. I think they might have just been in shock, to be fair. Yeah, that one's actually hit the leg. Not a lot of padding up that high. He did target to go for the groin again there for Kyle Jameson. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the exact same ball once more. Ruby Tuesday, the movie. Oh, that one's cut round inside him too. It'll be the end of the Jameson over. 7 runs off it. Smile on the face of Bartman. I think that's because of the fact that he has survived this over with only 1 shot to the groin. And we'll lose to Eden Park 1. Black Cat sucked there. And that's the ball game, says Ruby. Yeah, now the score required, it will go up to around 15.3 and over, I would say, by the time this one registers as a dot. I'm just waiting for it to update. 15.4. Still trying to break that 100 here. Will be Linda on strike. Ferguson bowling again. You shook the crown, Jules. Says Ruth there. It can't be a pleasant feeling, I can tell. Well, I know that it's not a pleasant feeling. And even if you wear a box, doesn't make a difference. You still feel it. You feel it in your bones. Oh, that's a good ball. But Linda has hit Ferguson down the ground. And it will be 4 runs. Didn't really time it either. I don't like cricket at Eden Park, but I just don't like Eden Park. Says Sporting Kiwi. It's quite a small boundary. You're looking at 200s there if if you bat well. But yeah, slower ball from Ferguson. Wasn't quite the Yorker length, was slightly back. And Linda hit it aerial. Gets the 4 runs, which is less than they require per ball, but not by a massive amount. Great over Jameson. Says Jordan there. Now Linda's still on strike. He's on 29 off 10. Pitched up. Power shot through the field for 4 more. I don't want to say it's impossible, but this man, he still believes a little bit. 69 more runs for him from here would give him his 100. Who's Ferguson in for, says Spencer Gay. So that is for Zach, folks. The lineup's slightly wrong there. The other change was actually Josh Clarkson coming in, and that was for, Jacobs, who did end up injured. Bartman is praying for no balls, says Ruby. And then coach said in press conference, Ashdeep didn't do anything wrong to Mitchell. Final, it was so surprising. Says Coding. Oh, he's hit it to the leg side. That one's not going to go all the way. Catch taken. South Africa bowled out for 107. New Zealand win this match. And it makes the series now 1-1 between these sides. A nice little injection at the end from Linda to be able to get a few extra runs for his side. But 107, the way that this one will end. 33 off 12. Just didn't have anyone batting with him. In this case, Linda. We have got there, whereas Satner, they don't need him now. Yes, nice one, says Viral. And I Hamish and Cricket Beats looking gravy for the Black Cat, says Sock. And well played, New Zealand, says Coding and Cracks, New Zealand. Says Big Rig there too, and OMG. Okay, Hamish. And the Cricket Peeps. But yeah, nonetheless, New Zealand win this one by 68 runs. Frick, yeah, says the Sporting Kiwi. But nonetheless, it is now 1-1 in this series. We won't be able to cover the third match, but we will be giving updates on the rugby live stream, which will be taking place between Highlanders Hurricanes and also Brumbies versus Blues. I think Devon Conway's just taken the bat off the South African tail ender. And that'll be just to test it out. Conway wasn't happy with his bat today, so he might be looking for a new option. But yeah, we hopefully will be here for T20 number 4. And that will be Sunday night. So also that kind of depends though if my team makes the final of the one-day comp, because we play on Saturday. If we win that game, we then have to play on Sunday. And I think that T20 on Sunday would almost overlap with when we are playing, depending on how early we finish. Good night, says Jordan. A great comeback, New Zealand, says Ruth. And there as well. But yeah, nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will see you all for the next one.